All right, everyone. Hello. It is me, Emmerron, and today we have something special. We were told that this could not be streamed. I wanted to make it a stream, but alas, we're playing by rules here. We have for you today a sneak preview of a new game that I have personally been so excited for literally since December, I think, and it is now nearing the end of April. So like the last 4.5 months or so, I've been exceedingly excited for this. We are playing Shadowscar today. We have been uniquely fortunate to get access to an early release version of the Shadowscar Easy mode, which will be distributed as part of Free RPG Day in June. This is being recorded. It is April 20th as we record this. This video probably will still need a little time before it comes out. But we are going to be running the scenario. Some things here may change or be refined in the final product, as I was made aware that this is an early version of it. It is not totally finalized, although it's very close. But without further ado, joining me on our little journey today are 5 of my friends here. We have Diamond Dust, Nylah, Lord Jesus Crust, Ghost of the Valley, and Haven. Welcome everybody to the game of Shadowscar today.
Yo, let's go.
So going,
What's up,
I
gamers?
cannot put into words how excited I am for this.
Yeah. So Ghost and I were talking one night after Neon Inferno, and he was telling me about Tenchu, and he's like, dude, Tenchu was such a goated game. I'm like, have you read any of the articles about Shadowscar yet? That came out in like December. This was like, I think February that we were talking about this. And he's like, no, what's that? And I showed him the article that Dice Breakers did on Shadowscar, and he lost his goddamn mind. He was so excited. So I am really, really happy that you're getting to play today, dude. So let me go ahead and switch over screens here so that everyone can see what we got going on here. So one moment. Alrighty, so yeah, there's everybody. We are using Fugitex. Ghost, of course, doesn't have an actual Discord profile image, so he is currently his lawman, Rook from Neon Inferno. I am extremely excited, though. We are going to be meeting our Shadowscar agents that we're going to get to play today. So, also an extremely important thing that I need to mention. Lord Jesus Crust here is a member of the Cyberpunk Red Foundry development team, and with some of his know-how and some of his abilities, we have a Foundry system that he has taken a decent chunk out of his past week to develop and make work. It is going to be just a little rough around the edges still, because not everything works perfectly in this, but the things that work really, really well. And it's way better than the Discord dice bot situation that I was originally going to use. So as such, LCC, first, thank you. Secondly, as a reward for the hard work you put in over the last week here, I definitely want to give you the ability to choose which of the Shadowscar agents you're going to be playing today.
I would like to play Carmen del Rosario.
Beautiful. All right. Let me go ahead. I'll assign her over to you now. For the rest of the team here, we can talk. So let's discuss now. So Carmen's off the table. So there are 5 other Shadowscar agents that we can play. Did any of you have preferences before we dive down?
I had one. but I'll let everyone else pick if they also have characters that they'd really like to play.
If you have a preference, out with it.
Yeah.
I'd like to play Osamu Okada.
Oh, Osamu. Okay, cool. Yeah, Osamu's a cool character. All right. So I will assign him over to you.
I was hoping for Satoshi Asano if nobody else is.
I thought you'd pick Satoshi. I'll be honest.
Oh yeah,
Me?
Satoshi's dope.
No. Ghost. I knew Ghost the moment he saw Satoshi, he'd want it.
Yeah.
Does anyone have an issue with Ghost taking Satoshi?
No.
I hear no argument. All right, beautiful.
Yippee!
So that one goes to Ghost. All right. So of the remaining characters then, so we have Aisha, Atsuko, and Hugo still on the table. So Diamond and Haven, what do you two want to do?
I'll let Diamond choose first.
Oh goodness, I've been looking between the lot of them. Let's go ahead and run with Aisha for me.
Aisha? Oh, cool. Yeah. I thought you might like Aisha after seeing what you played in Dragonbane, actually. So that's very cool. I'm excited.
I feel attacked.
No. Don't at all feel attacked. Aisha is like the top, like if you were to pick a character in this cast to be the support, Aisha's the support. Like she's incredibly cool. I really love Aisha, like dead ass. Like my whole table was actually fighting over who would get to use her. So when we were we did do a test of the game with the same pre-gens, and so the whole table in the playtest fought over Aisha. So all right, so then Haven, that leaves you with the choice of either Atsuko or Hugo Roth.
Oh, we're going with Hugo.
Hugo, bet. All right, cool. I thought you might want Hugo.
I mean,
Nice, I'm
after
glad
I
you
read
got Hugo.
5th Street, I'm like, that sounds fun.
Cool. All right, so Atsuko is off the table. The remaining 5 of you are our agents here. So beautiful. So let me go ahead and display the screen for everybody here so that you all can see what we got going on. All right. So here we have one RTG. Please don't be mad, but I may have ripped the Project Blue Moon splash art that you originally presented so that I could use this because I didn't have any media assets. However, I think that this is very appropriate. So let me go ahead and get us started. Okay, everyone. So we've got everything sorted out. We had a little technical issue there, but we're back. We've got everything. Everyone can see this lovely Torii Gate scene that I've got here. With that, let me go ahead and read us into the game here. So it hasn't been that long since you joined the Shadow Scar Agency and finished your training. Honestly, your body still aches from the hours of meditation, the intensive training, the hard wooden beds, and the obscenely early mornings. But you made it. There may have been a few close calls, but you persevered, and now you've been assigned your first mission. It's supposed to be a softball, something easy for rookie agents, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. So, you all meet in the Shadow Scar Agency on Nakatsukuni, one of the many myriad worlds of a multiverse known as the Mosaic. So to catch everyone up a little bit on the lore, in case you haven't read it, and for you in the audience, 100 years of sorrow is what Nakatsukuni experienced as demons known as yokai came up and ravaged the land and nearly destroyed the world. And the gods of the world made a decision to rend reality and sever Nakatsukuni away from the rest of the mosaic, rending in it a large shadow scar. By doing this, though, they unleashed the yokai on all the worlds of the multiverse of the mosaic. The Shadow Scar Agency is the agency that is built and has been established in the wake of that horrible tragedy to make sure it doesn't happen again on any of these other worlds. So you all, as agents of the Shadow Scar Agency, are interdimensional agents, part assassin, part ninja, that go out into these myriad worlds, find yokai wherever they may be, and bring them to justice, or carry out investigations related to tracking down the more powerful leaders within the yokai army. So, with that said, take a moment, everyone, familiarize yourselves with your characters. This will be the first time any of you have met each other in the flesh. All of you have, maybe been aware by name or by acts of like your fellow agents, but all of you, like the intros kind of said, have just exited that training. You've just become full-fledged agents of Genin rank, which is the lowest possible rank within the agency. But yeah, that is where we find ourselves at the start of things here.
Oh,
Brad.
I feel like shit. Oh, sorry.
Ooh,
No,
these
you're good.
robes. Oh my. What a statement.
What a
I was trying to yawn, and then I like fucking blew my throat out.
Oh no.
Sorry.
But yeah, so as far as this goes, take a moment to become familiar with your characters if you haven't already had the opportunity to do that. And then when you want to, give us all a description of your characters. I will try, for the sake of keeping the contents of the document as secret as I can, I will try to limit the amount of screen time that the character sheets and stuff remain on screen. And if I have to pull one up, I will try to do so behind the screen. But yeah, go ahead and feel free to share.
Who wants to start?
I can go ahead and kick things off. So, growing up in Constantinople, Aisha Sadikaya was always well behaved. She tried to stay out of trouble, but eventually she just couldn't take it anymore. So, she stowed away on a ship heading to England. And, well, she lived like a ghost, hiding in the cargo hold during the day. But one stormy night, when she snuck onto the deck, she saw something terrifying. And she saw dark figures fighting a monster the size of an elephant with tentacles everywhere. She tried to escape, but the monster grabbed her, and she was saved from a gruesome death that night by Shadow Scar agents, and she chose to join the agency.
Who next?
Who wants to go next?
I guess I can give a general on the information here. So, Satoshi grew up working on his parents' rice farm, but then he started to get raided by bandits, stuff like that. So he decided to try and defend himself. He set traps, blocked paths, caught snakes to milk their venom, and won that fight to push them back. But in winning that fight, he met their leader, who turned out to be an Oni. Luckily, the ogre decided to toy with him, giving a Shadow Scar agent enough time to save his life.
Yep.
Brave.
Here you are. Yeah.
So I have a question, actually.
Yes.
What's up?
To introduce my character, do I have to read what was on the document, or could I make something up? Or would you prefer I read the document?
So you don't need to read the document verbatim, but that is kind of the guideline for who your character is. Because it defines their quirks and things like that as well.
Yeah. I guess I was asking, could I paraphrase?
Oh, absolutely. You can paraphrase. Yeah.
I did not read mine verbatim. I definitely paraphrased mine because I didn't want to be reading directly from the book. Because I think for that much detail, I really think people should get the game when it comes out.
I will say the information section's not the worst thing. The statistics and stuff, however, we'll get to that.
Yeah. So I guess I'll go next.
Okay.
Could I give a description, like, as you see Osamu walk through the door?
Absolutely.
So you see Osamu walk through the door, and the first thing you notice about this man is he's got a big shit-eating grin across his face to match the scar that's going diagonally. And he's fitted with very loose-fitting monk clothes with a big red ornate pearl necklace. The man looks like he's trying to pass off as a monk to be this sage-like being, but ultimately just failing at it. He's just
too schleppy.
You can feel the sliminess kind of emanating off of him from across the room. But yeah, he grew up in the city of Kagoshima, and after being essentially neglected by his parents, he decided to go off on his own to learn what he could. So he tried joining a monastery, but he didn't have the discipline. So he did what anyone would do in his situation and stole a monk's set of robes and just decided to go on a journey. And yeah, that's him. He eventually found his way to Nakatsukuni.
Yeah, Nakatsukuni. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Well, and his homeworld, I believe, was Nakatsukuni as well. I believe, right? His homeland.
He grew up in Kagoshima.
Kagoshima, though, I believe, is part of Nakatsukuni as far as like
I think that's a city.
Yeah.
Kagoshima. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I haven't really fully immersed myself in the world building quite yet.
You're good. It'll take time, but we'll get there before this is all over. You'll feel it. All right. So far, that just leaves Haven and LCC for your characters.
Yeah. Are we good to just embellish it a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say go right ahead.
Perfect. So Hugo's probably just kind of standing there, rolling his shoulder, kind of examining his prosthetic arm. And yeah, he kind of turns to the group. Is like, I was 19 when the Great War broke out. I enlisted to help fight with the fatherland. One day while in a trench, a grenade landed at my friend's feet. I tried to get rid of the damn thing, but it blasted and mangled my arm. And after the war ended, I was broken. So I did what everyone did, left for America. And put my specific skills to good use. Hunting, killing, all that sort of fun stuff. My boss demanded I took pictures of Yokai Man, the masked vigilante you could see throughout the night. But turned out to be a Shadow Scar agent, and I wasn't much of a match for him, so thankfully he spared me and put me here to fight a new war.
Beautiful. All right, and last but not least, LCC.
So, if I'm understanding basically like the structure, I'm assuming that in this case everybody is like in a room or is entering a room in which we're being designated to kind of, kibitz and such to meet each other and all that. So
yeah, you guys are gathering in like a briefing room. Would be the scene that you're kind of walking in on. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted to make sure I understood. So basically, Carmen, she's gonna walk into the room drinking a canned coffee with like bags under her eyes and is just mumbling under her breath like fucking still sore after this. I feel like shit. And then oh man. I'm sorry. I need to drink water. Give me a sec.
Yeah, you're good. You thought it was roleplay, but really it was coughing.
Yeah, apparently I can't force myself to yawn without killing myself. So I probably just won't do that. Yeah, she's coming in drinking a canned coffee and like mumbling to herself, frustrated that she is in such immense soreness. It's like, this is bullshit. I was a multi-millionaire. I stick my neck out once and say, oh yeah, I help people, and then she like opens up the recycling bin and then just like throws it in at like full fucking send, and then she closes it, and then she goes and sits down on the table and like she starts doing like a breathing technique, and she's like, I'm sorry. Look. Oh. And she's like, she is failing horribly at this. She is perturbed to an extreme extent, and she's just like, oh, God. She looks out. She's like, hey everyone, I'm Carmen. Sorry for that display. Can't be a people pleaser all the time. Anyway, I'm from Refuge. Come from EOS Station. Used to be a multi-million-dollar valued space fucking spaceship racer. Fortunately, flew a little bit too close to the sun and kind of burnt myself out. Burned some bridges along the way, made some people mad. Realized I needed to slow down a bit. Got clean and saw a therapist, and he recommended me here. So I'm here to help out, try and make something in my life from all the time I've wasted.
Beautiful. All right. So as we get to kind of the end of you all meeting up and such, and I suppose I should clarify, you guys are gathering just outside one of these briefing rooms. As I did not read far enough ahead. This is a common problem for me as a GM with material I am less familiar with. Apologies. So with that said, though, the door opens up and you see a small woman wearing a robe come out and just say, he's ready for you, and invites you all into this conference room behind her. So as you all walk in, the door opens to a small conference room with all the anachronistic aesthetics you've come to expect from the agency. A low table surrounded by cushions fills the center of the room, with a squat Daruma doll in the center. Meanwhile, the walls are lined with the latest LCD screens showing maps, statistics, and profiles. A tall, lanky man is standing in front of one of the screens taking notes. Without looking back, he says, "Welcome to the big leagues, everyone. My name is Benjiro. I've been assigned as your strike team's handler. Take a seat. We've got a lot to go over." So as you all take a moment to get seated, Benjiro turns back to you and clicks a remote in his hand as soon as you've all kind of settled in. The screens around the room switch to a collection of candid photos depicting a haphazard cluster of connected shuttles floating in space, a battered green shuttle, and a video of two squat, bulky men in black atmosphere suits hijacking a spaceship. These two are Daisuke and Hachi, two Kappa who have been causing problems in Refuge for weeks. They're thieves, and they've been hitting banks, breaking into vending machines, and nabbing people across Refuge. They've stolen thousands of dollars and caused quite the uproar. Benjiro then gestures to the cluster of shuttles. Our intelligence suggests that they will be attending a black market auction held in a makeshift space station called the Scattery. We don't know what they're after, but whatever it is, we can't let them get it. Your first mission is to locate Daisuke and Hachi and eliminate them. You'll be transported to the Scattery by one of the agency's smuggling vessels, with entry tickets provided. I'll be overseeing the missions and will be in contact at all times if you need me. Do you have any questions?
What is the Scattery specifically?
The Scattery is a space station orbiting the moon in Refuge. It's a haven for criminals of all sorts and do business. Security there is unfortunately fairly tight. Everyone at the auction is likely to be some form of well-established criminal. So it is a black market of smugglers, thieves, and all the nastiness that accompanies it.
Two questions. First off, what did you say the guy's name was? Benjidol?
Yeah.
Benjidol, okay. Second off, would I, as a refuge native, assuming this is refuge because you're talking about space stuff.
It is, yes.
Would I have any previous knowledge about this and or have maybe visited it in my character's past?
Sure. Why don't you roll me a knowledge check? So just so everyone is aware of how checks work in this game, you'll notice on your character sheets, you'll have, because these sheets aren't the same as the physical ones, on a physical sheet, they'll be represented by filled in pips on each of these, but you have 3 columns of stats underneath which there's an assortment of skills. Whenever you roll a check for a skill, and the system will do this for you automatically by clicking the little button next to it, but you'll be rolling a number of d6s equal to the total between the stat and the skill that you're rolling under. And then you're looking to get 4 or higher on the rolls, and then we count up the successes.
Yep, makes sense.
Yep.
So as a refuge native, would I get a bonus or anything, or
You won't get a bonus just because this is a knowledge check only you would really have the ability to make.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay. I will do that now then. I got
Beautiful.
one success.
You did get a success. So, and so you were asking if you knew anything about the scattery or things related to
if
it?
I'd ever been there. Yeah. If I had ever been there, or if I had been following it,
Sure.
like, or anything like that.
Yeah, so you ultimately, you've probably never been there just because its reputation is one that if you know about it, you may have been around people who have mentioned it. You're definitely aware of it. And you're slightly aware, you've been with people in the shadier elements of your past that probably had dealings there at some time or another. And the one thing you do know that Benjiro hasn't mentioned is that it's customary for private meetings to be held on personal ships at the scattery, so that dealings may take place in more secure kind of privacy away from other prying eyes. So there is the possibility of using that to your advantage here, because you will have your own shuttle that the agency is giving you.
Awesome.
Is there anything that sticks out in particular about Kappa?
Oh. And Benjiro kind of smiles as you kind of ask that. He says, well, I can tell you this. They really like their cucumbers.
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 How many cucumbers can we get for 1 requisition point?
we will we'll talk about
we'll
that.
Do that later.
We'll talk about that. Well, that's our next step is requisition once we're beyond kind of asking him questions. So but yeah, Benjiro smiles knowing that you're asking all the right questions about that. Yeah.
Oh man. I'm gonna take your entire stock.
Fill a stock with cucumbers.
I only asked just to see if maybe there was some further knowledge on these guys. Cucumbers. Okay. All right.
Cucumbers. Yeah. The other thing you would probably know about Kappa from your training is that they're aquatic yokai. So they're typically, when they aren't wearing their common masks that let them disguise themselves as regular people, they typically are squat amphibious yokai that resemble a cross between a human, a turtle, and a frog. They live near water typically, and yeah, they love drowning prey after toying with them. So that ultimately is kind of their thing. They're aquatic yokai. They like drowning people, but their one like desperate weakness that is an actual like problem for them is they fucking love cucumbers. Absolutely love them.
I have a question. How many people have they? What would you say that their kill count is, or their kidnap count? How many are we talking? Because if it's sufficiently high enough, then we have to worry about maintaining the veil.
Yeah.
Right.
And so Benjiro says they really haven't been they haven't really been doing any kidnapping. Most of their crimes have been break-ins, robberies, things like that. They've been, you could say vandalism, but I mean a lot of it has just been stealing things from vending machines, money from banks. And they've stolen thousands of dollars already. Our intelligence suggests that they were gathering money for the sole purpose of attending this auction because they think something valuable is going to be there. While we may not know what it is, we want to know, and we want it instead. And also, taking 2 yokai out of the program is not exactly what we would call a bad idea. Not a bad thing. So that is your job. Take them out, figure out exactly why they're there, and if there's anything of note that might be useful to intelligence, secure it and bring it back.
Got it.
So if the item in question at the auction would be relevant to the agency at all, I'm assuming we are going to be requested to acquire it in some way, shape, or form.
Certainly. And you may navigate that however you wish. Bribe the right people, steal it from them once they've bought it, steal their money. So long as the veil's maintained, we don't really care for whatever methods you choose. Again, you're in amongst hardened criminals. Anything goes here.
Understandable.
I think that's it for me then.
Okay. Anyone else?
No.
Beautiful.
No, I'm good. I'm already plotting.
Wonderful. Okay. Well,
we'll discuss skill sets and strategy after this.
Perfect.
I guess.
So so with that, he gestures to the door. Perfect. It's time for you all to get geared up. Requisition is down that way. They'll supply you with any goods or equipment that you'll need on the mission. So above table to all players, the requisition tables are near the end of the sections you're allowed to see. So this is going to be the armory on page 42 and 43 is going to have all of the various things you can get. You can pool requisition points. So if you should all have 3, if there are items that some of you want to have that obviously cost less requisition than that, you're good. If it would cost more than you have, though, you can all pool your requisition to get a hold of those items if you need them. It is entirely, your decision, but it's your team's requisition is pooled. Yep.
Got you.
Well, just to start off, because I know that there's one thing that I need to have because I have a dart gun that does no damage unless I add something to it. So I need one thing of snake scale solution, and that'll give me 3 shots out of the 12 with my dart gun. And then I've got 1 point for if anybody else needs it, or if we have some points left over, I would like to get a second vial of poison, but that's not that important.
Okay, perfect. So we've got 2 requisition points. So you just wanted that solution?
Yep, snake scale solution.
It should be accessible via quick insert, just like with Neon Inferno. So if you drag it onto your sheet.
I will go to my personal inventory. It is.
Did I miss that? Oh, it probably wasn't on anybody's character sheet, so I didn't make that.
Yeah, it's not on the base sheet.
Hold on.
and it's not an item because I didn't make it because it wasn't on any of the character sheets by default, and I missed it.
No big. I'm gonna hide this really quick so I can do that. We'll be right back, audience.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm gonna sort this out real quick. All right, guys. So we did get that figured out. So Nylah, you were asking if you had access to full disposable income.
Correct.
Okay, beautiful. Yes. So anything labeled as disposable income, it is assumed you have access to all of that at the start of the adventure here.
I see. Okay. Because I'd like to, with that, not with my requisition points, get me a set of armor.
A set of armor. Okay.
Because I do not have any of that, and I think that's a mistake.
Reasonable.
Armor is just 2 requisition points. But yeah, if you wanted to purchase armor instead, so it's permanently yours, yeah.
Yes.
It's the same amount of disposable income as it would be requisition points. So that should be 2.
Yeah. And then with my requisition points, I would like to get me a thing of flower stem elixir.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's 2 requisition points and 2 disposable income gone. So you have 1 requisition point left on the table.
Yeah, and with that 1 requisition point, I will use that to get a security bar.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, and that should be in the directory.
Mm-hmm.
And just a side note, I could not find it, so if you want to just drag one onto my sheet, it'd probably be easy.
I got you,
just
dude.
do
Yeah.
that. I think that we have access to the compendiums, but not necessarily the item directory.
I get you.
So,
Yeah, no big deal.
yeah.
I can set that up for you then. Yeah.
And can I just change my armor to 1, since I have that
Yes.
armor now?
Yes, yes, you can. Mhm.
Cool.
I'm so used to being a GM, I responded literally on instinct.
To be fair, you did design the system, so if anyone here has that right, it's definitely you. So.
Yeah. So with my requisition, I'm going to spend 2 to grab a breathing mask, and then I'm going to use the 1 left over to assist with acquiring more poison for my friend over here.
Bad. All right, I'll give Satoshi another snake scale then.
Thank you. And sadly, it did not show up in my inventory, and I refreshed my page. I'm hoping.
I see both of them on my end, so that's very interesting.
Oh, well, as long as you can see them so that we have a way to
Oh,
track
you
them,
know
I
what?
that I
You
have
know
it.
why? Hold up. I bet I know why. Give me a moment. Gaming. All right, guys. Yeah. So I've added those 2 snake scale solutions to your sheet. So you're good there. Now with that done, so Ghost and LCC, your requisition is totally wiped.
0.
Nylah, yours is totally wiped as well because you got a security bar, you said, right?
Yep.
Beautiful. All right. Diamond and Haven, what about you 2?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get the tracking devices.
Okay. Beautiful. So you're going to spend 2 requisition on that. And let me double check. I believe in the directory we have tracking devices. Pretty sure. If you don't find them, I can add them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do not see them.
Okay.
Yeah, they were definitely not on anyone's sheets.
No big. Yeah, let me add that real quick. Because I thought I remembered seeing something with that. But I could be wrong.
It's all
about
fine.
it.
It's a developing system. I still appreciate that we get to play this in a VTT.
Yeah, I know. Like that's the big part of it, where it's like if we're missing one thing here or there, it's really not a big deal. So yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Because I thought. Oh, you know what? No, I know why I thought we had it. So this is a tracking device. Give me a gear item. And then I want... Is there coins in here? That's the real question. Not consumables. Containers, creatures, dice, environment, equipment, magic, ping, skills, sundries. Let's try that. I don't know Default Foundry at all, so I apologize, guys.
You're good.
No worries.
Environment.
And Diamond, your character is Aisha, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna be passing you my final requisition point.
Oh, all right.
And if both of you don't have a use for that last requisition point, we can pool those two to do something for anyone else that might have a 2 RP item that they want to use.
Someone still needs to get cucumbers.
Oh yeah.
True.
I just needed to get my air supply because I'm like, we're going to refuge. That means space. That means I need to be able to not die of a lack of oxygen disease.
If we're going to space land, do we need dehydrated cucumbers? Will that be a problem?
I
These are
mean-
things I need to think about.
You are going through you'll end up going through a Torii gate, so that's really not a big thing. That's not a big
Okay.
deal.
We're going
All
with
right.
dimensional rifts.
And then Haven, you were the one who needed the tracking device, right?
Yeah,
All right, I've added it to your sheet.
sweet.
Okay.
So let's see. That leaves me with 4 direct income or disposable income
And
and
4
5
requisite.
requi-
4 4, because the tracking device was 2, so Haven had 1 left over.
Yeah.
And that
Ah.
you had 3 and then the 1, so you all had 4.
Okay, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Armor probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Armor. Okay. So armor is 2 requisition points. So you can use that and just increase your armor to 1 on your sheet.
All right, I tried to drag and drop, and for some reason it does not.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
it didn't. I don't have it set up to automatically increase the armor thing.
Well,
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
it didn't drop in my. Let me try again.
Here, I
Did
just
you
dropped
check
it on
the
your sheet.
Did you check the personal inventory tab? Because
Yep.
that's where it's located. Okay.
I just dropped it onto your sheet, Diamond, and then it was Osamu was the other one who had armor. Oh yeah, and I see it on there. Okay, we're good there. All right, beautiful. So yeah,
Let's
then you've
see.
got 2 more requisition.
I would like to also. How many other pooled requisition points do we have?
None. You've just got the 2 left to you right now.
So I know that Ghost could benefit from more snake scale solution, but at the same time,
Well, I was also thinking, how do disposable income points work when it comes to like filling requisition items?
You buy them for the same amount, so you can burn DI if you want to do that. That's your call.
all right, because I'd rather burn DI on the armor.
Okay. Yeah. So then just drop
So-
2 disposable income on that.
All right, so that's going to go from 4 to 2. So I have some protection. So that leaves me with my 4 requisition points. I would like blinding powder.
Blinding powder. Okay.
And also, I would like to pick up 12 shuriken for 1 requisition point,
Okay.
and I think probably a second security bar for 1 requisition point.
Okay. And then that should burn all requisition.
Yep.
And I do think I'm not going to completely max it out because I don't think I'll need more than 9 shots of the poison and just have 3 extra shots for other things.
All right.
But I will spend 2 disposable income on 1 more snake scale.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, how much disposable income do we want to keep around? So, in case we go into the auction and we want to actually just straight up buy the item, like
I have
through
2.
normal means.
Yeah, I still have 2 left, so I'm not completely broke.
Where
Okay, because
is...
I have 8 because my character is really wealthy. So if everyone, even if everyone else uses all of theirs to buy shit, I'll have some left over to cover for people, and in theory, buy the item if we end up wanting to do that.
I'm just trying to find Shuriken at the moment in the list.
I can, because I should. It's going to be under weapons instead of gear.
Yeah, if you just type S, it should be the second from the bottom.
Yeah, hit Control Spacebar, and then type the Shuriken.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I realized I still can't get my hands on the snake scale. So
I got you. Yeah, no. I can add
Yeah,
it to
it needs
you.
to go into the compendium.
It will
it needs to go
eventually.
into-
I'll just.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have it fixed before next time, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. That should fix you. And then Diamond, I can add the shuriken to your sheet if you.
I got
can't
it.
find- You got it. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, there they are. I see them now. Okay, awesome. So then yeah, let me. So I'm gonna bring you guys over onto this next scene here real quick. So, activating. All right. So
Gaming.
once you have your equipment, you walk through the doors into the gatehouses. So let's see. And the other thing, as you prepare to leave the armory, all of you are handed a bundle of clothing that is appropriate for people in refuge to be wearing. So whatever you are wearing, you are going to have world appropriate clothing on you. So just be aware of that. So you walk through the doors into a gatehouse. So the gatehouse of the agency is this room, building rather, that has various gateways, Torii gateways, into different worlds across the mosaic. So as you step through the doors into the gatehouse's inner chamber, you're hit by the scent of moss and chrysanthemums. The inner chamber is a beautiful garden, adorned with mossy boulders, sculpted trees, and stone lanterns. Scattered throughout the garden are 10 Torii gates, black as night. Through each one, you can see a different world. You see neon spires rising towards a canopy of glass, rain-swept streets where mechanical creatures lumber, the bright Japanese-themed back room of a casino, with what must be a cacophony of slot machines beyond the paper screen doors. The attendants direct you to Gate 3, where you find a view out to a smoky room with a window looking into a neon nightclub. As you step through the gate, you're expecting a rush of color or stomach-turning drop, but nothing happens. One moment, you're standing in a peaceful garden, and the next, you're in a back room, hearing muffled techno music and smelling smoke and spilled whiskey. So, once you exit, you find yourself on EOS, the main hub, and what would be considered by the agency to be the infected zone of refuge. It's the place where the yokai are like seeking to attack and infiltrate wherever they can. So you are in the Pan-American habitat, specifically of EOS space station. So Carmen, this would be where you actually call home. This is your home. So you know that a short distance from this club is the spaceport of the station that leads people off via shuttle to various different space stations and settlements in orbit around and across the land masses of the moon. So with that, I would assume you're probably just going to direct the crew through to that station, unless there's questions we have as we land in refuge.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look out to everyone and go, welcome to my old home. If anyone has any questions or any concerns or anything like that, you can direct those at me. I'm sure I can cover anything that need be known.
Well,
Nothing? Oh.
Satoshi
No,
just
he's-
kind of stares deadpan at you for a second, and then looks back forward towards where we're all gonna head.
Oh, Osamu looks like he really wants to ask you a question, but he's debating whether he should.
Yeah, and for those of you not of refuge, by the way, this is probably a lot because like you've like learned the theory behind traveling to other worlds, and you know the training and stuff you've done mostly has been on Nakatsukuni, which by all accounts for everyone except for Carmen is a little closer to normal, minus the gods in the sky and all of that. But the this is literally just the probably farthest in the future. Like some of you may not even be able to dream this big from your worlds and where you come from.
Yeah, Hugo's probably just mouth agape. Just like can't comprehend like what this noise he's hearing is, or like what some of the things in the room are.
Yeah.
Hugo's the small Victorian child who's about to explode.
No, Aisha is from the steampunk Victorian world of
Steel Court.
the Steel Court.
Yeah.
Just
so you're the
kind
small
of
Victorian child that's about to explode.
Yeah.
taking it all in.
Yeah.
Just
Look, culture shock. I get it. If everyone needs here, let's sit down for a second. Osama-san, you looked like you had a inquisitive look on your face. You need something? Are you okay?
My question is where are all the trees? The grass, right? Like, there's got to be trees.
I don't think we're on Earth anymore.
My friend, I need you to look up. And I assume above me there's, like in the top left corner, there's like a big, like, you know, giant mirror that's just, or not mirror, giant window that's just out to space.
Yeah, so you guys are kind of in the back room of this club initially. There's a door,
okay,
but there is a door leading out to the street, like just a short distance from you. This is the agency typically will use their torii gates usually empty out into these like kind of like liminal spaces. They're not places that people normally go for a reason. And so, but yeah, if you walk outside, is like as you kind of hear the music and stuff, because the back room here is much more like it's a little closer maybe to familiarity for some of you. The smell of smoke and whiskey certainly would be. Stepping from that onto the street, though, yeah, that would definitely be the moment where this scene that you're seeing on the tabletop is a little more in line with what you're seeing. And yeah, as you look up, as Carmen's directed up at the sky above you, there is a giant glass canopy out of which you could see the desiccated husk that is the remains of the earth in this time. But it is not a vibrant blue and green marble like we maybe understand it in our time. Instead, it looks war-torn, battered, and where there normally should be vibrant green patches across it, much more of this looks as though it's been burned or rotted in some way.
You see that? That's Earth. We fucked it up thousands of years ago, never fixed it, instead decided to just kind of leave. It'll work itself out. So we built this shithole.
Yeah, I believe it's like hundreds of years, but yeah, other than that, that's pretty
Hundreds of
apt
years?
description.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have numerous questions that would waste everyone's time if I were to ask them, so I will not. However, I'm still very confused.
Yeah.
Okay. If something comes up that you think is important enough to ask specifically, we can do that. If not, then we can move on. Anyone else got any questions? Any, local expert? Anything the local expert can speak on specifically?
Yeah, what's this blaring noise? Do you listen to this all the time here?
Unfortunately, people do. Yes. This is not necessarily the genre that I'm a big fan of. A little bit classier, I would hope. Myself.
Beautiful.
This is music?
Yeah, you're just hearing that really grating industrial synth and stuff like that.
Just imagining it's
sounds like
it
sounds like
tinnitus.
Yeah.
It sounds like two boiler engines scraping against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get
Anyway,
used to it.
I imagine we got places we need to be.
Yeah. So and so Carmen, you know the spaceport where you normally catch shuttles, as Benjiro kind of described. And Benjiro kind of says, all right, team, I understand. Some of you, this is your first time seeing another world like this. But I do need you to all focus up. There's a shuttle about 2 blocks from where you are right now at the local spaceport. That's where you'll meet up with the pilot that the agency has for situations like this. A man by the name of Olaf Bren. Meet up with him, and he'll get you to the scattery.
Sounds good. So we're looking for Spaceport Alpha, my friends. To actually, wait a minute. Do any of you know what the Alpha symbol looks like?
I have no clue what those words you just said were.
Okay, here I'm gonna pull out my space phone, and I'm gonna go. Okay, this is what it looks like. This is the symbol we're looking for, guys.
Do you mean
just look for signs with this on it?
okay?
What
I
was
can do that.
What was the skill roll there?
Knowledge to see if Aisha at least understands Greek lettering a little bit.
Probably,
So she's from
probably not. Not with that low.
Constantinople, that's Turkey, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, little bit divorced from it, and in kind of the wrong period, because you are Victorian period, mid 1800s. So with that,
so that's why at the end I pulled out my phone and I was just, okay, this is the symbol we're looking for. Look
this
for a
symbol,
sign
yeah.
with this on it. This is a sign we're looking for.
Yeah.
Follow me.
Aye,
Anyone
Captain.
gets lost or needs the bathroom, I know where those are. If anyone gets lost or needs to find the bathroom, I know where those are too. Also, the bathrooms here are not holes in the ground, just for anyone who is used to that, so I might need to preface with that.
I've heard weirder things. We can. Don't worry.
So, as you all arrive at the spaceport, there's your typical security scanners. You're all traveling fairly light, but nothing. They've taken you through a private terminal. So ultimately, security's pretty light. People usually don't ask questions to an excessive degree here either. Fishing receptacles are not the weirdest thing I've heard today. Jesus Christ. So you all get to this spaceport, and specifically you get to this terminal where a fairly tall looking man is standing there. He's got a thick beard, and you can see him chatting with one of the attendants. And then as he sees the 5 of you walking up to him, says, "Oh, you must be the agency people I've heard so much about. Welcome. This is my ship. This is going to take us to and from Scattery. I will keep it docked there while you do your business inside. And at the end of the day, we all come home. Everything good."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
You all look very confused.
It's been a long day.
Understandable. It's only going to get longer. So everyone, please step into the ship. I should mention, I do not have an artificial gravity field. It could be little nauseating. And so you, and so yeah, so you
What's your
do,
name?
Olaf.
Okay.
And so you are given some suits here. These are let me double check here. Oh yes, there we go. So Olaf will give you all atmosphere suits that allow you to move in zero gravity via vernier packs and stick to the floors with magnetic boots. So as you kind of all step into the airlock of the ship, he hands these atmosphere suits to each of you. So they just go over your clothing and are, like a slightly slimmed down version of your typical kind of astronaut attire. It's more that form-fitting vac suit. Think like modern SpaceX
body weight suit.
Yeah, right. So once you all have them on, you can kind of feel that subtle. It almost feels like your feet are a little stickier than usual as you kind of start walking because of the magnets. And the gravity of the station obviously is still in effect here. So as you walk in, it just kind of feels like you got this weird stickiness to your steps without the unpleasant peeling sound of like after you've stepped in gum. But Olaf kind of directs you all to seats in the shuttle as he cycles the airlock behind him, takes a seat at the front, and then over your atmosphere suits, you can hear a closed loop radio signal, "Okay, everyone, get nice and seated, comfy." And you hear the engines on this shuttle spool up, and moments later, a jolt as this thing takes off from the spaceport into the blackness of space. And it is notable that as the engines eventually spool down, as he's gotten up to like speed and has the right vector to navigate to the station, you all feel that sudden like drop of gravity, whereas before you were experiencing either the gravity of the station or the G forces of the thrusters. You now feel that weightlessness associated with zero gravity. Could I have everyone roll me an endurance check?
Oh no, I have
Oh,
nothing
no.
in that. Oh jeez.
Is this the little
jeez.
dice next to endurance? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, the one on the left of it. Would resistance also
Fuck
be,
yeah.
or is resistance for mental?
You don't need to worry about it, Carmen, because you have astronaut training.
Oh, let's fucking go.
Yeah. So Carmen, you're like.
May I use? I was actually going to ask before. May I use the help action on anybody to just kind of like be like coach them through it? It's like, okay, this is how just stay, and it's just I go through like a little bit of training or a little bit of a speed training with somebody and try to get them enamored, but everybody already old, so I guess it doesn't matter. I was also going to ask, may I have, before I put on the environment suit, put on my air supply mask in case anything happens?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
As far as everyone goes here, so Hugo and Satoshi, you're good. Osamu, I can't help you. Aisha, you're borderline. You're borderline here. So there is an option. So this is where I'm going to introduce a mechanic to everyone. If you hadn't already read it in the rulebook, there is a system in this game called Inyo, and what Inyo is basically you get told when you fail to check by 1 Aisha, that's you right now. You failed this check by 1. If you would like to get an automatic extra success to pass the roll, you can burn your Inyo. Now, what that does is it gives me an opportunity to give you a failure later. So it's like the +2, -2s we would do on your stream diamond. Except it's an automatic success you get now in exchange for an automatic failure later, or you could also potentially clear it if you succeed a skill check and I determine it's worthy of clearing your Inyo. Like something really dramatic. So you don't have to burn it, but if you would like to burn it, you will pass the check.
I suppose for the sake of displaying, we'll go ahead and burn it.
Beautiful. So go ahead and mark the Inyo checkbox on your character sheet.
So what?
Okay.
What happens to me? Just give it to me straight.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Nylah, you ain't feeling so good. You feel that some of it might be just that like rush of like adrenaline from like doing something and seeing things you've never seen before. You're in a spaceship right now. That's insane where you're from. So the whole idea of this is kind of just like a complete mind fuck. But on top of that, this gravity shift is just one final, you could almost say it's the straw that kind of broke things here. So you are feeling, that like rush of bile at the back of your throat. You're like, oh shit.
I think I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, so it's not a great feeling. Is that like you feel the acid in your stomach kind of like rise up with the zero gravity. You can, we will let you on different beats here try to repeat that check to see if you clear it. But for now you are nauseated.
I was going to say, may I go through with the assistance check that I wanted to do earlier to help him kind of recompose himself and give him another chance to do the check? Because his, he would, in theory, he would get a +1, so he would have a higher chance, which means he would be able to try again, or...
Yeah, so I'm just going to mark you with the corroding, because that's close enough to being not so good. Yeah. So yes, you may go ahead and try to coach him. I just need to check social actions here real quick to make sure. Oh yeah, so help out action.
Aid another character, giving them a +1 bonus. Only one person can help out unless otherwise determined by the storyteller, and the storyteller can always determine that a character cannot effectively take this action.
Yes.
So it says it also doesn't necessarily require a check, but do you want me to make a check for it, or?
Yeah, because you are kind of explaining this to a person who has never even fathomed space travel, much less the idea of no gravity. This is going to take a little bit of, is it possible to really give that sort of assistance? So to this, I will ask you to make let's see. I'll ask that you make I'm trying to think of which of these skills is most appropriate for it. We'll call it knowledge. Let's try knowledge, because it's probably going to be like I
was going to say either knowledge or insight personally.
Yeah. We'll call it knowledge for this.
Yeah. Okay.
Double sixes. So the one thing, the system does not count sixes as 2. We tried so long, or more accurately, LCC tried for so long to get that. That's 4 successes. So yeah, you will get a +1 the next time you roll an endurance check, Nylah, to end your nauseated condition. You're going to be stuck with it for a bit, but yeah, the journey to the scattery for you is a rough one. The rest of you, you're more or less okay, surprisingly, for never having been out in the vacuum of space before. So with that in mind, we now come to the scattery. So, as you arrive, you see off in the distance and rapidly kind of get closer as your shuttle maneuvers into position, each time kind of shocking you with these like micro thrusts that it does to adjust its attitude and such. You see 7 space shuttles on this central cargo vessel, all docked together, this making up the body of the scattery. So as you get close and eventually the ship docks with the central cargo bay, you feel this thing latch, and then Olaf moves to the back of the ship to cycle the airlock, and he says, I'll be here with ship, so whatever you need to do, do it. Come back, and hopefully everyone survives.
Sounds good. Thanks, Olaf.
And so it's at this point, now as kind of like you take a step up and your mag boots kind of click in. Like, it doesn't help with the like moving of your insides in ways that do not feel good, but it makes you level out your head a little more, because now at least your feet are on the ground, right? That helps a little bit. Go ahead and roll me an endurance check. We're assuming that this has a automatic success on it already from Carmen helping you. Beautiful. There you go. So that's your second success. You are now good. Your first couple steps are with that kind of nausea still kind of floating around. And as you step through the airlock into the station, you rapidly are starting to feel more accustomed as the environment starts to like feel more normal for you now. So as you walk in here, let's see here. So you walk into a large open space with a massive screen on one wall. The room is lit by several bright neon art pieces mounted on the walls and ceiling, giving off just enough light to barely light the space. So it is dim lighting in here. Combined with the speakers playing techno music, the area has the atmosphere of a rave. Around 30 members of the criminal underworld are milling around, talking, checking their phones, and heading back and forth from another section of the ship labeled Habitation Bay. You can see this sign up along the wall, kind of clearly designating that. So with that in mind, how do we want to start kind of navigating this?
All right, well.
So the first thing that I want to do is I want to do a little bit of scouting, and I want to see if we can kind of get eyes on the area in which the thing I forgot the name of, where you buy the thing, is.
Gotcha.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So,
is there an area serving food in here by chance?
Serving food.
Food, beverages. Like, is there like area around here?
As you might imagine, zero gravity is one hell of a challenge for serving anything. So there are vending machines near the edges of the space that are dispensing, and you could see several of the individuals that, walk up in the couple of seconds where you're kind of like assessing things. You see one of them dispensed what looks like a thin plastic bag, and plastic might not be a concept you're even familiar with, but actually after training, you probably actually would have a concept of it, because it's not like plastics are totally devoid of the agency, right? So, or rather, the agency is not totally devoid of plastics. So, but you see this small plastic pouch dispensed through a slot in the vending machine after some credits are inserted by one of the patrons there. So it appears, yes, there is something dispensing what you would assume initially to be drink of some kind. Food, maybe, but the vending machine is dispensing these baggies.
Is there anything on here that might have cucumbers involved? If not, I got a feeling there's got to be something involving cucumbers around here.
Oh, interesting. Go ahead and roll me an awareness check, Diamond.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Awareness. All right, mine 3, awareness 2.
Oh my god.
Hey!
That's 5 successes. Yeah, holy shit. Okay. So with 5 successes, so you look around and really take your surroundings in now. And just try to like ascertain like what's going on. And what's around you. So the vending machine you see over in the corner, you take a closer look as another of the patrons kind of goes over, and you notice that when they go over to the thing, the initial patron you saw kind of grabbing the bag out, it was kind of the end of their transaction. This next person you see go through the whole motion of kind of what this thing is. You see them tapping at an LCD screen on this thing, and you see it has a variety of different options for things that can be dispensed out. And paying, close attention, you could see that there's a variety of both food stuff and drink available. So if you'd like to, once that person is kind of finished and walking away, you realize, you could walk forward and kind of see what you could do with this.
Well, I was going to see if I use Gear Heart after this guy gets done fumbling around with the machine, so that way I can learn something useful about the last person who interacted with this machine.
Ooh.
Did they buy cucumber paste? Kappa, smack his nuts.
So, why am I getting like a fucking Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents was just like, it sounds like cucumbers or kappas.
Cucumbers. Like tapas.
Oh
my
man.
god, that would be so fucking good.
We gotta get the Kappa catching net.
So, with that, you use Gearheart. So, explain to me again. Remind me how Gearheart works specifically. Is it just an automatic? You just learn something, or is there a roll involved?
By taking an action.
By taking an action. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. So, as you kind of examine the machine, so you just get to know something about the person that last used it?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. So this person that's just walked away, their selection is still kind of like, you get a receipt, right, on a machine. So this thing displays like the order summary, essentially, of the last person for a few seconds before it blinks away and has, a touch to begin kind of prompt. And the person that just walked away ordered some kind of like a malt spirit that probably doesn't mean anything to you, but you can recognize at the very least that it is something alcoholic. This is they call it rocket fuel, and based on the size of that bag that if that's actually rocket fuel, it's way too small for as big as that ship you just flew in on was. But the other thing is, yes, there are salads available in this thing. Admittedly, small, and either like small diced bits or pastes that kind of reconstitute into like a facsimile of a vegetable. But yeah, this person appears to have ordered some kind of like nutritional paste or food along with this beverage. So with that said, what would you like to do?
That information, Aisha is not entirely social, but with that information in mind, it seems that this stuff might be a possible lead to one or two of our kappas, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, there's got to be. I just wonder if habitation might have something, but I'm going to pass things off to the others, see what they can find.
Mm-hmm.
I like the initial idea of walking around, taking a look at things, and if anybody spots anything interesting, just shout into everybody's heads. Because we do have the tattoos, and that tattoo on your tongue lets us speak into anybody with the receiver tattoos thing's brain, and vice versa, so we can all kind of communicate.
I have a thing I'd like to do. So prior to exiting the ship into the what'd you call it, the scattery?
The scattery, yep.
I have on my person a disguise kit. So with that, I would like to take the clothes that I was given to blend in. And then based off of, I'm assuming at this point I've seen people who are kind of walking around, try to disguise myself into this place better. Maybe trying to give myself with a more wealthy sort of aesthetic to myself.
Sure, yeah, because those clothes that they gave you from the agency are definitely more like standard street person kind of clothing.
Right.
Okay, beautiful, yeah. So you can kind of find your way to a quiet corner of things and change into this. It is a little difficult as you kind of realize that the atmosphere suit you're wearing is the only thing kind of holding you to the ground. So you kind of quickly grasp at a like a rail on the one wall of the auction house as you kind of change over. But yeah, you're able to kind of switch it out before kind of resuming use of your atmosphere suit.
Yeah.
Fucking go.
And that's my disguise check.
Yeah, and that anvil, that's a 6.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so
4 successes.
4 successes. Yep. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, you're looking pretty in line with your surroundings. Not bad for a guy who's nearly throwing up a few minutes ago after having 0 gravity for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're ready. All right, I'm gonna head in.
We are so back.
We are so back. I'm gonna head in, and I'm like looking out, like, who here looks like they know what they're talking about? They know what they're doing. I just need gotta pick out like eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll me an awareness check.
All right.
Holy shit! Okay, that's fine.
I am aware.
That is 5 successes. Yeah, that's incredibly good. So let me take a look here.
Can't wait for someone to comment and say that we did the successes wrong because they didn't listen when we talked about the 6s.
Right. So you notice as you're kind of meandering through the crowd of people, there is a woman, and you notice, whereas you are definitely like, using a full body Atmos suit to like maneuver mainly and things like that. This woman is, you could tell she's got like some kind of magnetism in her footwear. But in contrast, you notice she's just wearing this fairly nice looking, almost like high fashion kind of a like, it's hard. I'm trying to think of the words, but it's like not a dress, definitely not a dress in zero gravity, but like a full on like business suit, like almost that kind of like high society kind of business wear, less a jacket, more a kind of form fitting outfit. And you can see her chatting with a couple of these equally well-dressed people, and you hear her mention something, oh, well, my husband, you know, he's here selling some of our latest haul. You should really go talk with him. I've heard he's over in the recreation area. He said he was going to get us both drinks. And you can see you can see her kind of eyeing things, though. And you actually catch as one of them turns to walk away. You see her very quickly, almost imperceptibly, reach into this guy's pocket and grab out his wallet.
Oh.
So
Crime.
I seeing this, I'm like, oh, okay. I was target sighted. So prior to going over to the bar, because I am going to chat her up, I'm going to actually take a swig out of my heartache tonic. Try to do it so like no one sees me. Just try to do it a little discreetly, of course. But yeah, just gonna take a drink of that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you fairly well disguised, and I mean, you see other people around you with things like flasks and things like that they will occasionally, like, they've got specialty apparatus on them to allow them to do it in 0G. So again, you kind of struggle at first as you realize, oh shit, that just kind of floats up into bubbles. But but you are able to like take a sip of that and have the effects kind of take effect on you. So with that, that's allowed to happen. So what are you doing after?
So with that, I'm gonna walk up to the bar, unassumedly at first.
Yeah.
You know, just you know, I'm gonna go get a drink, just like a normal person.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, just try and order a drink and just plant myself right next to her.
All right. Perfect. And so she looks over you, says, well, I thought everyone around here was going to just be a filthy vagabond or something. I didn't expect someone walking in looking high society.
I'm not just everyone.
I can tell that.
By the way, pass it to me.
I'm sorry?
You know what I mean.
Go ahead. I'm gonna have her roll against you here. Go ahead and roll me a manipulation check.
Okay, so how does my, because I wanted to try to convince her to like pass it to me, but is that the same thing?
Yes, yeah, because you're trying to convince her to do something. That's manipulation. So it's the idea of like you're trying to convince her to do something, and she gets to roll a resistance against it.
Yeah. So does my? Oh, hang on. Let me. I will just temporarily set my manipulation to 1, or with the heartache tonic.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can adjust that. That's totally fine.
Cool.
Okay, so that is no successes.
Unfortunate.
She rolls 2, and she says, I'm sorry, you must be mistaken or have the wrong idea.
All right. If you get caught with it.
I did it.
Yeah, that is interesting.
That's weird.
That's because I had your token still targeted. I apologize.
Okay, that makes sense.
That make no mistake, that's a GM roll.
I have 3 key points, correct?
You do, yes.
So
For
go
Osamu's
ahead.
roll, shouldn't it be 6 dice instead of 4? Because the 3 spirit and the 2 manipulation that are already there, and then +1.
Yep.
For Osamu, cause what are we saying? Cause it's
Was his
manipulation
skill
1.
inputted wrong?
It says
Is that-
spirit 3 manipulation. Cause what's the manipulation on the actual sheet?
my manipulation, my manipulation native without the heartache is 0.
Okay, so that was inputted incorrectly. So that needed to be a 2. So you actually would have, yes, you were supposed to roll 6 dice
Okay.
in all.
Go ahead.
So-
I've adjusted it on your sheet to have that +1. Go ahead and re-roll for me. Oh well,
Okay.
no, it's because the heartache just gives you a +1.
Hmm.
So that's one automatic success, is what that means.
Okay. I thought it was +1 to the amount of dice you roll.
No. So you actually just get an auto success on manipulation rolls. That's so pluses and minuses in this game do not unless they increase something, I believe it counts as an automatic success or failure for the pluses and minuses. So they're more of a adjustment. You can think of them to be an adjustment toward the difficulty of it, as opposed to an adjustment on the dice rolled.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that second roll, I do believe I do beat her.
You would beat her, yes. Yep.
I just double checked my sheet, hearing that was a problem, and my manipulation and resistance were also left blank. So I'm just going to fill those.
Yeah, go ahead. So with that in mind, so you beat her, and so she says, she kind of looks both ways, and she says, "Look, I'm just here for money. That's all I come here for. Don't blow my cover."
I ain't blowing nothing yet.
And so she reaches into her pocket on the outside of her suit and gives you the wallet she took.
I appreciate it. What's your name?
Ruby.
Ruby. So what brings you here? Curious.
Like I said, making money.
Money.
You walk
But-
into a room full of criminals at an auction, they all have money. I just want the money.
What about... Thought your hubby would take care of that.
My hubby doesn't exist.
Curious. Well, will be our little secret then.
What brings you here, since you're so interested in me?
Oh, just business, you know. Here to meet a guy, to talk about a thing, and maybe get something done. You know.
Maybe I've met the guy. What's his name?
But the guy. What is his name? Again, sorry, could you
So
remind
above
me?
table there are two. There's Daisuke and there's Hachi.
Are we able to hear like this conversation going on?
You all do have communicator tattoos, and so yes, you would technically. It's like closed radio.
I'd like to whisper in just they may not be going by the names that they're known as. They might have cover.
To be fair, the intelligence, so this is above table again, the intelligence you all received earlier does suggest that they do go by these names and have been in refuge for the last several weeks. So
has it dropped like what their cover names might be?
they haven't used cover names. They've mainly been using these names.
Okay.
These are their assumed names. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was like their known names and they have a cover. Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah. These are the names at the
Sorry.
very least they've been going by. If it's not their true name, you don't really know, but that's their assumed names.
Okay, sorry. I'm small brain.
You're good.
I got it. I'm looking actually for a pair here. Daisuke Hachi. Maybe you know him. Maybe you don't.
Hachi's a name I don't know. Daisuke though, and she kind of like you could see her kind of like quickly like finger over an element of her dress and undo like a subtle zipper that you hadn't noticed before, and she pulls
pockets.
And she pulls a phone out and she hands it to you. She says, "Look, keep my gig secret, but I may have lifted this off of him. Favor for a favor. You keep quiet, I give you this."
I love deals like that. You got yourself a deal.
Beautiful. So, and so she says, as a matter of fact, sweeten it for me. And she glances over and you see this ostentatiously dressed, like extremely loud kind of like suit, like chromed over mirror shades, the whole deal, right? Like big, gaudy, golden jewelry on this guy. She says, that, my friend, is what we call a mook, a rube, someone I can steal lots of money from. Sure. You just need to keep that one. And she points over at this very like, you know, like arm crossed in front of him, security, like private sort of security, radio earpiece in, all that kind of thing. Just distract him for me. Just a moment.
Sure.
Do that. This will go in your pocket after it's all said and done. And so she starts moving very carefully kind of through the crowd over in the direction of this very brightly dressed patron. And what do you do?
So I have a question actually. So for Mikyo, is it like a showy sort of thing, or can I do it on the down low?
So it's you have to use hand signs usually to focus it. But it can be done like extremely subtly.
Would that be how
like a -1 or something?
If you're doing it with one hand, it's a -1.
Oh,
and what about if you're trying to do it stealthily?
If you're trying to do it stealthily, I would say probably it's same, probably like a -1, just because you're trying to kind of keep it to yourself.
Because I want to use one of my Mikyo called Visions of Desire. Is this guy within 25 feet of me?
The guard?
Yeah, or the one that Ruby
wants to
was
steal
pointing
from.
to. Yeah, Ruby wants to steal from.
I love stealing.
The one he wants to steal from, so he's probably a little further out. He's probably like more like 50 feet from you right now.
Okay. I want to get a little bit closer and try to stealthily use Visions of Desire.
Okay, beautiful. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check. That is a 0.
No success. That is 0.
So you're not able to move quite as gracefully as Ruby is. Of course, you know, there's all kinds of people milling about, so
sure.
You're not exactly like conspicuous in your movements or anything. Again, you're still getting used to that 0 gravity all the same. So, with that in mind, so I'm kind of curious because your stealth is 1 and 1.
It's
okay, that
1.
makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure it's rolling the right number of dice. That's all.
Yeah, no worries.
So that said, you get a little closer for the Mikyo. Let me see. Because does the Mikyo describe you having to make a roll for that one?
No, it does not.
It does not. Okay. Beautiful. So go ahead and roll me a focus check then.
Okay.
Beautiful. All right. So yeah, that's 3 successes technically since you're taking it at a -1. Even then, it's extremely easy to kind of get an idea. This man, his sole desire is a supposedly one of these neon pieces of artwork that actually are on auction. But that is his like current deep desire that he desperately wants.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do I see this piece of artwork anywhere?
Yes, it's up on the wall. It's one of the pieces you saw when you walked into the room.
So I'm gonna. Do I know exactly why he wants it, or I just know that he does want it?
You just know he does want it.
All right.
This game desperately wants this PNG.
I want to go over there, and I just want to kind of say, "Yeah, this piece looks real good. I want it." Yeah.
Oh, you're trying to. Oh my goodness. And
yeah.
Go ahead and roll manipulation. And
All
I'm gonna roll his resistance to it because this guy's got a bit of an ego on him, so he's gonna be rolling this at a -1.
Roping. Keep on roping.
How he fails. he completely fails.
This artwork of the strokes. Oh my god.
And he says, "Look, if you know what's good for you, you'll fuck off. That's mine." And you can kind of see, and you can kind of see Ruby like very like carefully and quietly kind of slink up behind, and then very quickly lift the guy's wallet out of his pocket and stash it in another one of those hidden kind of like folded pockets of her.
You know what's super? So I have the quirk faint-hearted, which means I take a -1 penalty to defend against the threatened social action. So I'm going to treat this like this guy is like threatening me, and I'm just going to say, "Yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir. This painting never sucks. You could have it."
Yeah. Like you saying it sucks, huh?
And you could see, and you could see the guards. Yeah, the guards were looking at you. They did not notice Ruby. You've succeeded in distracting them. So with that, you kind of walk back to the bar. Possibly your heart pounding, I would imagine, after having a little encounter with the this very brightly and apparently very angrily convicted man. And you feel this light touch on your back, and you feel one of the suit pockets suddenly feel just that slightest bit not heavier, but you definitely feel that like sensation like there's something in your pocket now that wasn't there before. And
Do I see her?
You just barely see her disappearing back into the crowd as she's walked away, but you can feel that shape of a phone placed in your pocket.
Nice. Okay. So mission succeeded.
Does real quick, does anybody else want to do anything before we continue that little plot thread? Because we haven't really touched on a couple of the people in here. So.
Yeah. What does everyone else kind of want to be doing while this is all kind of going down?
Like I was saying, I just kind of want to walk around the room, scan to see if I can just get lucky and spot the targets. Also looking for any sort of eyes in the sky and like vents and things like that.
Cool. I just need to roll something real quick. Cool. All right. Go ahead and roll me an awareness check.
Awareness.
Oh, that's delicious.
Aware as shit.
So you notice an older man that's kind of oddly kind of placed himself outside the crowd bustling near these screens near the front of the room. He's kind of put himself aside and is kind of like scanning the area. And so you notice he's definitely taken like lengths to try and like not disguise himself, but definitely stay kind of the thing in the background, blend in with the surroundings as opposed to engaging.
Andy over here.
Yeah. So that is what you're noticing, Satoshi.
Yeah, so I've noticed the suspicious man off in the corner.
Yep.
I think I'm just going to like talking to everybody's heads, let them know that I got a weird target, and I'm just going to kind of keep my eyes on him.
Yeah, and another thing you kind of notice is you kind of keeping an eye out. Every so often, as he kind of sees something off in the distance, he's got a small, pad, and by pad here I mean like a digital pad with a stylus, and you can see him scribbling something with the stylus against the screen.
Motherfucker's got an intelligent pad.
He's taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
Possible.
Haven, you got anything you want to do? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
Oh.
I was just taking a second to think. I think I might be able to like nonchalantly slip my way to where I can kind of casually look behind him and try and stealthily peek over his shoulder and try and get a glimpse at what he's taking notes on.
Go ahead and roll me stealth. Okay, 4 successes. That's good. All right. I'm going to roll his awareness, which is actually pretty good. Oh, but he only rolls a single success out of that. Okay, very good. So yeah, you succeed at getting really quite close to him as you kind of mill through the crowd and then kind of slink along the back wall of the room. And you could see him, the notes that he's got in front of him as he kind of scribbles another one. You could see him writing down like Ruby clearly looking to fleece the richest people in the room. And you could see as this is kind of, as he's making this note, you can see this little interaction between Osamu and the rich dude at the other end of things go down. And he has like a tally next to Ruby's name on the pad, seemingly marking every time she's stolen from someone. And so with that, he also notes, he's got a note on the screen, Hachi, odd, uncertain of motives.
Oh.
Seems
So he's
like a
also
detective Andy.
Yeah, I wanted to let you finish, Beast, but I want to note that I was glancing at it, trying to focus using my tattooed eye so it would be like recorded for the higher-ups if they took more interest.
Yeah. No, and Benjiro says, well, he knows, like in your ear, you can hear Benjiro. Wow, this one knows a thing or two. Maybe strike up a conversation.
I'm gonna walk up behind him and just kind of tap him on the shoulder. I want to try and half spook him with it.
Yeah, you can tell he kind of like, he doesn't make any like really sudden or like large movements, but you feel that ever so subtle, like as he like takes a sharp inhale and he says, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, what's so interesting to take notes on around here?
Look, there have been a group of thieves been taking banks for a run. I'm just here keeping an eye on things. I don't mean anyone any harm. So if it's money you want or I can provide anything, just quiet.
Well, if they've been a problem for you, let's just say theoretically, what I'm here to do might just solve your problems for you. So if you've got any leads on and I'm gonna kind of guide his hand back up so I could see his notepad. If you know anything about that guy, that would help.
Okay. Well, I need a favor. And really, it's something quite simple, especially if you've just snuck up on me as well as you have. I need a tracker. And he hands, like, he pulls out a small, it looks almost like the size of a small pill. I need this to be slipped onto that guard over there. And he points out one of the guards around the edge of the kind of room. I need to know what their patrol patterns look like. I have some sensitive information I need to pull off of one of these people. You do that for me, I'll tell you everything you want to know.
I'll see what I can do. I'll take the tracker and kind of wander back over to the group and just kind of stay in everybody's mind, because I do have a decent. Well, actually, stealth would probably work for the reverse pickpocket, right?
Yeah, because if you've stealthed, then yeah, you can pretty much just do it.
Okay, then I'll try and slip up on him and do it. I was looking for something that was more of like a essentially sleight of hand or whatever, but no, I'm good.
Because did you let the group know that you had the tracking device, I guess?
It was basically about to, if I couldn't just handle it with stealth, but stealth seems to be a viable option, so I think I'll be fine.
Alrighty.
Yeah. If we're if we're all like synced in via the radio thing, then can we hear out of each other's ears, or only hear like people talking to us?
So yeah, so you all, it's like radio for you, so it's not really like you can hear out of their ears.
Okay.
But you can pass messages to each other easily. That's what the comms tattoos let you do. Benjiro can see through your eyes. Like that's the one thing. As your handler, he's able to kind of see things as you've moved through this space and everything.
So can he basically update us on things because he can see through everyone's eyes, which means that he ostensibly can treat us all like CCTV cameras,
right?
Like Five Nights at Freddy's, and then he can keep us updated on things that certain agents can't because they're predisposed. Yeah, I guess predisposed, doing something.
Right.
So, in theory, we could ask him to do that.
In theory, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. To my understanding, the three like agency tattoos, you've got the one in the eye that works as like a recorder and a camera for your handler to watch through. You've got the one on the tongue that basically allows you to broadcast to anybody with the ear one. And the ear one is basically just how you receive that, but it's like a mental communication. I imagine it like you focus in on the tattoo, and instead of actually speaking, it's like you're thinking into the person's head, and they hear it through the ear tattoo, like you're standing next to them talking.
It's like a telepathy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's see if I can sneak up on the guy and slip a little pill into his pocket.
Go ahead and roll me a check for that. Okay. So that was just the 2 successes. Okay, beautiful. Let me roll awareness. He only rolls 1 success, so yes, you succeed.
I was so scared I was going to be marking Inyo for that, because I would have burned it. If I was one off, I would have burned Inyo.
No, I know you would, yeah. So yeah, you successfully slip it into his pocket, and he is none the wiser.
Nice, all right. Then I'm going to walk back over to the old man and kind of give him the thumbs up close to the chest so that hopefully only he sees it.
Yeah, beautiful. So one thing that, since you are involved with this, so let me finish up with you, and then we'll go back to Hugo and Aisha and Carmen, and we can kind of see what they've been up to this time. So
feel free to jump around whenever.
Yeah, no, you're good. So you walk back to the man, and he gives you kind of an approving look and says, all right, what do you want to know?
Well, for starters, where is he currently? Where's the last place you saw him? Where might he have gone from there?
So that man over there, and he points, and off in the corner of the room, there's a dry bar, and you can see that the let me just take a look here. You can see that this fairly stout-looking man is talking with another partner or another man there that has a kind of similar stature. They look near identical to the images that you were briefed on earlier. That one. he and his partner have been milling about. One of them seems to stay there, and I can't tell why, but he's been munching on these little sandwiches. I think they have cucumbers on them. They said their names were Marcus, Roth, and Jin, but they've been referring to each other by a different name. I've heard it a few times. They think they're alone, snuck nearby, think no one's paying attention. And he just doesn't know. He is nervous. He is nervous. Seems like he doesn't want to be here. The other one has been quite the socialite, however. And he's the one I'm more interested in. They use the name Hachi when referring to him, and so I'm just looking to figure out exactly who their benefactors are and what they could want. It sounds, though, like they haven't really been open about that part of things.
Well, I think that's a good start. And he's gonna pat him on the shoulder. If you find out anything else and you see me wandering around, let me know.
I will. Oh, by the way, my name's Yusuf.
Noted. It's better if you just pretend I never existed.
Fair enough. And he returns to his kind of people watching and note-taking. All right. So the rest of you, so Hugo, Carmen, and Aisha, as they're kind of doing these things, this is going to be before you kind of have the knowledge of what they've uncovered. What are you all doing?
Yes.
So I was gonna. Sorry, Haven. Do you want to go first?
Oh, you're good to go. I'll go after.
Okay, cool. So I was going to look around and see if I could find any information on what the premier item is here that could possibly be what the Kappa or the Kappa are looking for, and or just walk around, ask anybody about any information they have about it or what it could possibly be if I can't find out easily.
Gotcha. So you're just looking to kind of get general information as you walk around, or
specifically about the premier item at this auction, the thing that they might be looking for.
Gotcha. So you're looking to get an idea of what's on auction today.
Yeah, what's on auction specifically? Yeah.
Gotcha.
All the different items. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to, I guess, kind of abbreviate your milling around and talking with random passersby, go ahead. I'm gonna have you roll me a manipulation check. Manipulation is generally what that is. Holy crap. Okay, well, that's 4 successes. That's pretty good. So ultimately what you're able to kind of figure out as you kind of chat up the different people is there's a couple of things on auction that, there's various art pieces, different kind of stolen goods. A couple people have large quantities of, servers that they've pulled from different facilities that contain all manner of data. So there's the variety of things on auction. However, one of the things that is on auction are diagrams for a military drone that kind of stand out from the other things on auction, where those are more, mundane, art pieces or information that might be, one thing that you notice is a server for, citizen information or financial record information, transaction logs, things like that. Everyone else, this is the one thing that kind of has that standout quality.
Okay. So I'm going to relay that information as well as that presumption about it to the rest of the party as they're all going about doing their stuff. And I'm going to also look into... so this is an auction, so I assume... do they have like a starting price listed before they start the auction, or do they pick it as the item goes up on the podium?
So a lot of the information you're gathering is just through various people you're kind of talking to. Yeah, so okay. Prices aren't part of that discussion. It's just you've got that intelligence.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so they're probably trying to get these drones so that they can, use them for nefarious purposes. So that makes sense. So in that case, I'm gonna see if I can. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can team up with another person in the group and see if we can do a little bit of a subterfuge and see if I can maybe get into an area that I maybe shouldn't be, but I act like I am supposed to be in. So that I can maybe get access to it a little bit earlier than it should be going up there.
Sure. Before we do that, then, because that's going to be a little more involved.
Because that's going to be significantly more involved. Yeah. So
yeah.
You can go. Go forward.
So yeah, Haven, what do you want to do?
Yeah. So I mean, this might actually tie into that. Because Hugo is gonna kind of scout around the area of the auction. I'm not sure if it's in a separate room for where you are now, like if there's a weapons check or like vantage points.
This is the main hall, and you can see, you can actually see one of the screens near the back says the auction will begin in, and it's counting down. It's at about 50 minutes right now, but you could tell the timer is kind of counting down for when the auction is scheduled to begin in amidst like the party atmosphere. Like I said, it feels more like a rave in here than it does anything else.
Okay, yeah, then Hugo's kind of uses like spyglass, kind of look up kind of near the rafters, see if there's any vantage points if someone needs to take a shot for whatever reason.
So the one thing is this is a zero gravity environment. So the room is maybe not as, to describe it, is it's kind of a weird thing, right? There are, think like, oh God, what's like a good comparison? It's like an MC Escher drawing to a certain extent, right? Where like there is infrastructure along all walls of this ship. Because it is, and you could tell people, when I say milling about, they're not just walking around. Some of them are floating or using their suits to kind of propel them around. So they are kind of milling about in this more 3D kind of cloud, right? So there's not really any better or worse vantage points to take shots or things like that. It's not like there's rafters in the room. It's not like a warehouse. It's more of that kind of open kind of area here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I mean, I guess unless there's any like darker corners, yeah, Hugo will just kind of offer his services to whoever needs it.
Beautiful. So you're just gonna kind of offer help to the party in that regard?
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. And then we covered Carmen. And then Aisha, what are you looking to do as you kind of start ascertaining things?
Thing is, with her not being much of a socialite, all right. So what other avenues do we have yet to cover? Like, has anyone like gone? Are we in habitation or are we like not?
So no, you're in the auction house. So you're in like the main area. I don't think anyone's actually wandered over to habitation.
I think I'll go over to habitation then.
Beautiful. So you kind of wander around the edge of the party. Yeah, like again, being very shy. Within the habitation bay, you kind of wander in. And I lied earlier. I think Nylah was kind of at the edge of this because that's kind of where the bar is located. But that room does go further in from there. You see a dartboard, a TV screen that's currently streaming a soccer match, and the dry bar, of course, where the bartender is mixing drinks and such. On one end of this bar is where you see this stout man kind of like nervously, like kind of white knuckle grabbing on to a briefcase. He's kind of tucked it under his one arm. The other is rapidly kind of like grabbing these small cucumber sandwiches and just like throwing them into his mouth.
Can I roll insight to see if there's a very likely chance this might be someone we're looking for?
Roll it.
Also, I'm going to be, in that case, also contacting Nyla's character. Oh, gosh, Nyla's character.
Osamu,
as well, to maybe make his way over if he is not needed elsewhere.
Yeah. Beautiful. That's 2 successes. That's not bad at all. So Osamu, it's worth noting that by the time Aisha gets over here, you've had time to kind of look through that phone. And you can see in there's just one message. And the message simply says that your mission is to secure diagrams of this prototype military drone, and it has a photo attached. And then return with your partner and meet with a contact in 5th Street named Sanzo at Golden Ray's gas station.
Oh, we're going to have to hop again.
So, yeah. So the message just lays out, this is your mission from an unlisted number. So as Aisha reaches out to you, you know that information.
So just tell me if I got this information right.
Yep.
Cool.
I think in that case, then Aisha is going to make her way up to the bar, a bit of a ways away from who she's suspecting to be a target. Excuse me?
You're walking up to the target?
Not to the target, up to the bar.
Oh,
I keeping the target like in view, but I don't want to get too close because if this guy is nervous, I don't want to send him running.
Yeah. And you could tell him he's like profusely kind of sweating, and like every so often he's like glancing up at that timer that's counting down towards the auction. And like you could tell, like he's like very nervous. But he's like, I just want, like, you almost think you can hear, like, it's almost like you can hear what he's thinking, which is, please just get this over with. Like, but yeah,
he's not a fan of public spaces either.
He is looking like he doesn't want to be there at all.
So
he's very nervous.
Spirits, possibly. But...
Yes, but so you get the bartender's attention. He says, yes, what can I help you with?
I'm not looking for anything alcoholic, but do you have anything that I can at least, wet my throat with? It's been a bit of a trip here.
Oh, certainly. I mean, we talking juices, water.
Surprise me with something with juices. It's my first time out here to the scattery.
Absolutely. And you could tell he very quickly kind of splashes a couple different colored liquids into a shaker, blends it, and then you could see him just inject it into one of these bags that has these, like the straws attached with them. You can see like a valve go, and then this whole thing just kind of like fills the bag rapidly.
Okay.
And he slides it over to you. And he just says cranberry and pomegranate.
Oh, I'm going to use one of my disposable incomes here as a tip, but also just The fellow down at the end of the bar, has he been here like the whole time?
Arrived here maybe 20 minutes ago. Had another one with him. He's coming back. And you could see this other one moving through the crowd, and then like kind of like you can't hear what they're saying. It's again very loud in here. But you could see him kind of lean down and whisper in the ear of this man who's sweating, and say something before turning back around and then resuming kind of milling through the room here.
What's he been ordering by chance?
Just a ton of cucumber sandwiches. He's told me to keep them coming, so I obliged. Paid me a nice big tip to do it.
Is that so? Okay. What's his beverage of choice?
He's been just sipping waters, as far as I can tell.
Trying to sticking straight pickle juice.
What would I need to roll in order to kind of figure out, like, how could I possibly manipulate this nervous person to be a little bit more welcoming of, someone else that's not a fan of public spaces?
I mean,
manipulation, or
manipulation is the act of doing
knowledge?
Exactly that. If you wanted to just go and try to talk to him and convince him to give you information or something. If you want to more like plan a way, like where you're kind of assisting your role, right? That would maybe be an insight. You could kind of think about it.
All right, I'm gonna roll insight here for a moment while I'm sipping on the juice.
Okay,
just kind of help clear my head a little bit.
Sure.
Oh, button.
Bhutan.
Hey!
3 successes. Good shit.
Go.
Good shit. 3 successes. So, you think about this and you're thinking, well, if this is your target, if they don't know that you're here already, that's probably a good thing. But ultimately, you're not sure of kind of I guess you could say if there's like a right approach or a wrong approach. But you think to maybe see if anyone else, because you can tell, like, obviously with his nervousness, like he's like white knuckling this briefcase that he's holding on to. And with that kind of in mind, you would assume that approaching him in any form of conversation would be incredibly difficult. Because he seems extremely, like you said, nervous, agitated, not really wanting to talk with anybody. As you kind of are sitting there watching, and this takes maybe the course of a minute or two, you notice someone else try to come up and strike up a conversation, and this very nervous man just like kind of looks, goes from looking nervous to getting like slightly aggressive, like basically snarling at the other person who approach him, until they just kind of like reel back in shock and just kind of like walk the other way.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, approaching him is not going to be a good idea. I'm just trying to think if there is like any.
At this point, would I?
I'd like someone to pinch off the doorway, though. If one of you guys could make your way over.
And you would have made your way here by now, Nylah. So yeah, you would be.
Okay.
You'd be like over by her.
It's a good thing I have that security bar. So I have some items.
Okay.
That we could maybe use. Because he's been eating those sandwiches, right?
Right.
I do have honey wine powder. Could you read for me the intoxicated condition?
Yes. Give me just a moment to get to that page. So intoxicated is you take a -1 penalty to all actions, and it ends after 1 hour. Once they sober up, they will take the drained condition, and drained will lower their key reserve by 2, and they have to spend 2 actions to take any kind of recovery action to restore that.
I would like to note that if we plan on poisoning or drugging his food, I am poison specialist, so if I dose food with anything, you have to roll 5 successes instead of 3 to identify it. So
Might need you.
Yeah, I'm just letting the others know I have eyes on one of them at the moment,
Target acquired.
We have a lot of options.
but just working my way through the drink.
I think we could maybe convince the bartender.
I
You know?
don't think so.
He's causing trouble. We're just removing him from the equation.
because
Makes
I
sense.
can, if I can clue you in on what I was planning to do to the other guy, because I did have line of sight on the other dude. I was thinking of anonymously getting a drink like it's going to be for myself, taking it off somewhere quiet to poison it, and then floating it toward him because it's 0G. And then he just gets this drink that has stuff in it that he likes. He kind of looks at it, won't see anything wrong with it, and say, fuck it.
Cucumber garnish.
See, the thing is that with the cucumber sandwiches, he's gonna eat that shit. Like, no questions asked. You know?
This is true.
We slip a tracker into the cucumber sandwich.
No.
We can track him wherever he goes.
The sandwich will have like a million different things that you shouldn't eat, but have like a slice of cucumber.
Yeah. Just the thinnest, like, most delicate slice of cucumber, under which is like powders and poisons and a coin because that's your tracker.
Oh god.
So like, I'm not gonna make a decision without the group here, but
If you just need me to follow him for a little bit, I could probably do that. Because it seems like Aisha's abilities are very much more in just kind of helping the rest of you guys, like keeping an eye on something. But I'm not very good outside there.
yeah. Could I just try talking to the bartender?
Sure.
Because I'll just radio them. I could convince the bartender. Try to, at least.
Oh no.
Come on. What's the worst that could happen?
You know, this is also this is a criminal space. Like, it's not
Exactly.
it's not like a legal space station or anything like that, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna call the cops here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What we could.
So
My plan is a go.
the plan is to go. All right. So you're going to walk up to the bartender and he says,
Mm-hmm.
"Can I help you with, sir?"
Yeah, I just need a drink, something not super strong, but something to take the edge off, if you know what I mean.
Certainly. And he takes a small amount of probably you're imagining some kind of grain spirit because it seems clear as he runs a like thin line through the zero gravity into a tumbler, and then doses it with another golden liquid of some kind, shakes it, and then similar to Aisha, pressure dispenses it into one of these bags, and then hands it over to you. And he says,
Awesome.
it's we call it nectar of the gods, a little bit of pear with vodka.
Nice. I'm gonna once he gets close enough, I'm gonna say, "Hey, you see that guy over there shoveling cucumber sandwiches like there's no tomorrow?"
Paid me a decent sum to keep him coming. Yep.
Yeah. Seems to be scaring off the customers. Is he causing trouble?
I'll be honest, unless I stick to this side of the bar, yeah, it's about having the amount of drinks I can pour in a given moment, so I'd rather you weren't
Right.
there, but it doesn't seem like he wants to be social anywhere else.
Well, I have an idea. Since you were nice enough to pour me this nice drink, I think I can help you just remove him from the premises.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Those cucumber sandwiches. And I'm gonna give you a powder. It's gonna render him basically very, very drunk. And at that point, it'll be no problem for me to just escort him out of the premises. I just need to have a conversation with him.
Beautiful.
But if you could do that for me, I would be eternally grateful.
I mean, he's already paid me. And he kind of, you can see he's kind of thinking about it. Go ahead and roll me a manipulation check.
Okay. And I still have the wine up.
Yes. And he's gonna roll a resistance to it. Okay, so 4 successes versus 3. So aggressor does win ties in this system. So now, Samu, I present you with the option to burn your Inyo if you'd like to succeed.
I burned my Inyo.
You're gonna burn your Inyo. All right, beautiful. So he says, he kind of like glances over at the guy at the end. He says, "Fine, you have yourself a deal," and he accepts the slipped powder. And you could see him kind of finely sprinkle it into the fresh plate that he's about to put out of these sandwiches under a hood. And yeah, within a few moments, you can see as soon as he's placed this tray out, again, greedily, this other man is just shoveling these things into his face. And after a little bit, you can kind of see him start kind of blinking like he's not certain of what's happening. And that white knuckle grip he has on this case starts kind of loosening just a little bit. Not enough for you to maybe think it's a good idea to go for it, but enough that you definitely can tell he's losing that sense of sobriety and focus that he had moments before.
Yeah, target is hit. My job's done.
I can't believe you did that.
Believe it.
Remind me not to eat anything you offer me.
So it is at this time where I just want to remind everyone there is a mechanic for assassinating people.
Stab, stab, stab.
Just throwing it out there in case that's a tool you forgot was in your toolbox.
So,
I don't know if I want to assassinate them though.
I don't know. It's not exactly a one-shot assassination, but I've been sitting here thinking, you're right, we are kind of in a criminal element. Nobody will probably really raise too many alarms if he notices a random dart stick into his neck. As long as I don't get noticed shooting it, I'm fine.
That's up for y'all.
Actually, I have an idea. It's not necessarily the best idea. Would be funny though. So, what if I go up to this dude and I'm like, "Hey, I've taken a bit of an interest to that briefcase you got there. I can't handle, but be interested in a good old mystery. I want to know what the fuck is in that thing. How about this? I see you have been eyeing this auction. So I want to play a little game. And so I have loaded dice.
Yes, you do. I do where you're going.
Let's play a little game. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing this right now because this is theory crafting.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm basically want to be like, how about this? We play a dice game. If I win, then I get that briefcase. If you win, then I'll buy you whatever you want from the auction. And that's basically my idea.
Interesting. So you're presenting this to the group like this is what we could do.
Yeah, basically, I'm basically like the acquiring this information, working through I almost called them the fixer because my brain is melted.
We usually play Cyberpunk, to be fair, so that is a fair fair statement.
Yeah, basically, like, I assume that I'm passively accruing information based on what other people are doing, to a reasonable extent. Obviously, not in the most extreme detail, but basically, I know about what was on the phone, and I know about what is currently happening with this person kind of losing their grip and most likely being one of the targets.
Yes, well, yeah, then that's something Osamu's
so,
kind
yeah.
of stated, like targets hit. Like you know that.
Yeah.
You've got that.
I'm just declaring where I'm acquiring all of my information and making sure that it's all kosher and all that. So that's an idea, and basically like and so basically in that case, whatever's in that briefcase, I'm assuming it's a lot of money, but it could be anything really.
Could be.
So yeah, I kind of want to know what's in there, like genuinely. So you know. But that's obviously a thing we could do, up to the rest of the team, though.
I'm up for that plan because we got to get that briefcase on one way or another, and unless we kill him somewhere quiet, it's going to be a lot more suspicious to take the briefcase off of a corpse than winning it in a dice game.
Sounds good to me.
Honestly, that sounds like a really good plan.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right. So what are we doing?
The
Sounds
gambling.
like-
Gambling?
Gambling in quotation marks.
In quotation marks. Gambling exclamation point. So question, so can you only have one like status effect at a time, basically?
No, they can stack.
Okay, because this guy's intoxicated, which means
Yes.
You said is that affect all actions, or
Yes.
which ones does it affect?
All
I'm
of them.
pogging beyond all belief. You have
I
no idea how
know.
hard I'm pogging right now. So I was also going to while we were playing the game, or like right before it, try to basically like talk down to him a little bit, and I was going to try and dishearten him specifically. See if I could get a little bit more. Be like, I'm really good at this. Like, you have no idea, because I'm basically showboating to him, and trying to like, kind of, I'm trying to instigate. I'm gonna instigate, instigate a little bit of a superiority over him, so as to make him feel lower than me. So to give him another minus, I believe dishearten gives you a -1 to all actions, or it gives you a condition that gives you a -1 to all actions. I don't remember exactly which one it was.
So it is a social action you take, and then what it does is you attempt to make the target question their own abilities. If you beat the target's defense, they suffered the hindered condition. Alternatively, you can take a -2 penalty on the check, which is manipulation check, to instead lower the number of actions the target character can make on their turn to 1.
Okay. And
so you get your
hindered
choice.
Condition does you take a -1 penalty to athletics, focus, marksmanship, melee, and stealth checks. Okay, I was misremembering.
But focus is an important. That's a defense against other social checks and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. Also, it increases the amount of movement they have to take when they move, so they're not only fucking like falling like over themselves because they're intoxicated, but also they're like fucking flat-footed, basically.
Right.
That's funny. Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking, what is even the check for gambling? What would you say would that be a performance, or what's your idea?
So for gambling, I would probably... Let me check your skills here again, just so I'm clear on that. We probably would do a... We'll call it, I guess, performance. It's probably performance, I would imagine.
Marksmanship for aim on the dice throw, maybe? I don't know what a skill sheet looks like, so I don't know how unfair that would be.
Yeah, no. Like, I think if you're gambling, I think that, especially since you're cheating at gambling, there is definitely an element of performance in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that based on what you're doing there, because the loaded dice just lets you win basically game of chance, right?
This set of weighted dice can be used in a gambling game to grant a +2 bonus to checks made to gamble. Anyone
Made to
inspecting the
gamble.
dice must make a challenging 3 knowledge or awareness check to notice the trick.
Yeah. So I think for this we're gonna call it performance. I think would be the
Okay.
yeah, because I'm trying
And that
to think
assumes he even accepts this, which we have not established.
Right. Yeah.
So I
yeah.
basically still need to persuade him to do this with me, which I would roll manipulation to do so if requested.
Yeah. So you're gonna try to approach him. Manipulation would absolutely be the convincing roll. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm just making sure to wait for the GM to ask before I do anything.
Yeah. So if you're gonna approach him, then yeah, I mean, you are seeing him kind of stumble over himself, and you can see him kind of half-heartedly as that intoxication is really taking hold of him. Just fuck off.
Hey, whoa. Slow your roll there, my friend. Look, I don't have anything against you or anything like that. I mean no nothing by coming up to you. I apologize. I just need to know one thing. What is in that briefcase? And then I'm basically going to go like off on the tangent I did before and like the theory crafting thing. So yeah, I'm just going to say all that again. So may I make my manipulation roll to attempt to convince him to play the dice game with me?
Yes. Let me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna check something here real quick because I just want to make sure I'm right about the rolls.
Yep, no worries. I will wait.
Let's see. Monster penalty. Oh, okay. No, you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong about pluses and minuses. It is, you add the dice to the check. So
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I was wrong. I'm so sorry. But yeah, we are going to go ahead and roll. Yeah, go ahead and roll your manipulation, and I will roll his focus.
Yo, let's go!
Oh my god.
God damn.
Well, yeah, as you might expect, this guy is not doing great. And so you are telling him, like,
This guy seems desperate, basically.
let's play a game. Let's play a game. If I win, I get your briefcase. If you win, I get if you win, I will buy you whatever it is you want at auction.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. So he looks and he thinks about it. He has a briefcase. I already have what I want for the auction. You can fuck off. And he's like, you manipulated him, but he's just, he's refusing.
He's steadfast.
Steadfast in the,
understandable. I'm like, okay, but what if you had more? What if you could keep that and then use it to buy something else? With these amazing pieces of art, or even I look back at the bar. Be like, okay, you know what? Why don't you want some more food? I saw you were I heard from some of the denizens that you were quite hungry. How about I pick you something up, maybe soothe your stomach a bit. Maybe you're not you when you're hungry, all that. Just trying to like smooth talk him and just like talk around him. I'm just trying to pretend my character is basically ignoring the fact he said no and is just going to keep talking to him.
Gotcha. So what's your end goal here exactly?
I'm trying to basically ingratiate myself to him a little bit and try to get him to. I'm trying to convince him that A, I'm like trying to be friendly with him, and B, that hey, you could do so much more with this. I'm assuming that he has money in the briefcase. My character is assuming that is the case.
Yeah, he did indicate like he has
more
everything he
with that.
needs here. Yeah.
Yeah, like you could do so much more with that. If I bought you what you wanted from the thing, then you could use that and buy double maybe even of what you originally wanted, or something like that.
Hugo, you've been just kind of hanging out watching as things are unfolding, right? You're not really committing, but you've kind of been keeping a vigilant eye.
Yeah, Hugo's kind of keeping an eye on it, kind of debating if there's any good openings to maybe like slip a tracker on this guy. Just in case we do lose sight of him.
So one thing, go ahead and roll me an awareness check really quick.
Oh, we're gonna be aware.
Very cool. All right. So that's 4 successes, excuse me. So with that in mind, you look and you're noticing whoever this guy's partner is, the clock on the wall is getting down to the 30-minute mark. This guy's walking back over, and like doesn't see what's going on yet, but is walking in the direction of the bar and therefore his partner. What would you like to do?
Yeah, and Hugo will kind of give a kind of quick notice to everyone. Just like, hey, the other Kappa or partner seems to be on his way back. We might need to scatter if we don't want to draw attention to ourselves.
Duly noted.
Heard.
Or I can move to intercept him. Whatever you guys want.
If you don't see him, probably the best thing we're gonna have to do is off them at this point, because we're not getting anywhere with this fucker.
Where we gotta get him somewhere isolated if we're gonna do that.
Exactly.
I mean,
I haven't blown my cover at the bar yet, so...
You have not. Would you like to look around and see if there's any spots that might serve the purpose?
I'd appreciate it.
Go ahead, roll me awareness. That's good. That's 3 successes. So you look around, there's another sign, and it's kind of off against the other corner of the room that is along that same kind of wall you would have come in through from the kind of the general shuttle ports. There is a larger hall leading away, and the label above it is airlock and waste disposal.
Perfect.
Or like yokai disposal, am I right?
I know what a trash compactor is. Like waste disposal. I assume trash compactor on the ship. That's what it is.
You could assume that to be one thing you might find in that direction. You're not sure until you go there, but like...
All right, I just smell Star Wars Episode 4 just a little bit. That's all. I think I know how we're gonna get rid of him. Okay. How can I draw the other one away? Because I'm gonna draw that one towards the compactor or airlock.
You could point out to Hugo, because Hugo is already like in a good position to be able to intercept the guy, because you're pretty close to his friend here. So you could tell Hugo about the hull and have him try to intercept.
Yeah, if you want to yank him in that way. Are there any security personnel even watching here?
I mean, they're all over the edges of the room, but they're really not responding unless someone kind of calls them over or they see something really dramatic. And right now, everyone's just kind of mulling about, and it looks like, drinking, eating, talking, waiting for the auction.
So basically, we get rid of his friend, who's a little bit more apt to do shit. Then we deal with a suitcase guy. Hugo, do you think you and kind of looks around the room to see who else might be present to help Hugo in case? Or Hugo, do you think you have this, or do you need me to come help you?
I mean, if we're taking him by force, then I'm good. But if we're trying to do this discreet, I might need someone with me.
Well, forcefully and quietly and forcefully would probably be a very great combination. I'll make my way over.
Okay. So this guy is starting to move through the crowd in the direction of the bar. So Aisha, you're going that way. Hugo,
Question.
yes.
So how far away is this the guy who we are attempting to intercept, by the way?
So from the bar right about now, he's probably about 70 feet away, and he's moving through like the thickest part of the crowd.
Okay, because I was gonna say I was going to attempt to see if I could like use my God's left eye Mikul to be able to see what he was planning on doing, but it's too far away. So I will do that later if he comes into range. So no worries.
Beautiful. So, with that said, Aisha and Hugo, how are we doing this?
Hugo, if you could grab and pull him in, I will just follow you guys just to shut any doors between us and the rest of the world, because I have means to do it.
Sure, we could do that.
And if you need a second set of hands, I'm more than happy to help you.
Yeah, I'm just more worried about the kicking and screaming that'll probably happen.
And
well, you have a hand, don't you?
And Satoshi, what are you doing at this point?
Actually, as they're talking about, well, worried about the kicking and screaming, Satoshi's just going to kind of say to their heads while starting to dip his... Because I assume basically all of my kit is inside of that Atmos suit that we've been wearing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to kind of have one of my arms out of the sleeve, just kind of fumbling with my gear, dipping the blow dart darts in it, kind of prepping 3 of them, saying, well, I could definitely have somebody making a bit of noise out here. Because that one that the old man was taking notes on that he pointed me to, they were like calling him the names of one of our targets and stuff like that, right?
Right.
I could probably just pinprick him real quick, and he'll probably make enough noise to buy you guys some cover.
Pinprick the old man, or
old man?
No, the guy that was sitting in the chair, the guy that he pointed out that was still sitting there. I can't remember his name. Started with the G, I think.
Oh, so you're talking about because there were 2 of them. So there's the one that kept checking in with him, and the other one who's now intoxicated that was over by the bar, like nervous as all hell. So and Carmen's already got him kind of taken care of. So it's the one they're trying to go in on is the one moving through the crowd right now.
Honestly, maybe a little poison might not hurt with this one.
Oh, this is definitely going to hurt. So it's poison doesn't exactly mean quiet.
Well, so fun fact, your dart gun, I believe, has the subtle trait, which means actually that when it hits, because let me see, ammunition.
Well, no, but from the snake oil, he's going to take 2 damage at the start of each turn. However, that's ruled out of combat. So I imagine, seeing that my total health pool is 10, 2 damage straight to your face every turn is a painful poison.
Yeah, it's that. Well, that part of it's probably not too subtle. But it's more of a, does he know where it came from?
Oh yeah, definitely. I wasn't worried about him knowing where it comes from. It's the freak out of once the poison hits him of going, wow.
Question.
Freaking everybody.
Has anybody seen anything that could produce like fog, smoke, or something like that? Because I can make visibility go away real fucking quick if we need that. We need a really good like trick to make it like look like it wasn't coming from me.
I think that's the play. We take him with the poison. He starts screaming out in pain. You use the cover from that to give yourself a smoke screen. Smoke screen gives general cover to rip the other target out of everybody's sight lines and do the messier job.
Yeah, it's just
we
now.
move the body. That's the question.
Also, on top of that, we're going to be causing a bit of a ruckus. So there's got to be a good reason. You know? Are there smoke detectors in the room? Is there a fire suppression system in this room?
You could probably safely assume there would be. Chips and stuff. I mean, it's like you're not super well acquainted with all of this, so like what might be obvious to someone who's familiar may not be as obvious to you, but you feel like it's a pretty logical thing for a place like this to have some way of fighting fire.
Does anyone have means to light something on fire?
I don't.
I have a Mikio.
Oh shit!
Oh. Hey, Ghost, you want to do a smoke and mirrors trick then to make this happen?
I'm in for it. What's the plan?
What? So light something on fire nearby where we got to cover everything, and then 50 feet is going to be covered in fog that no one else can see through except me and all of you.
Oh, sick. I was about to say.
Yep.
Awesome.
So
we're talking beyond all belief right now.
Well, the one thing about my Mikio is it's a breath of fire that is a 10-foot radius. So it's not exactly the most discreet, but I do have fire in my possession.
Is there something that could catch on fire in this room?
I mean, clothing is
People.
Clothing and people, but
curtains, drapes, carpet,
Painting.
The paintings are LCDs, so they're not really. Those aren't flammable.
They're NFTs. This is bullshit.
Yeah, and the room is mostly like plastic and metal. It's an old spaceship, so it's not going to have a lot of the typical like carpet and stuff like that. Yeah.
So there's no way that I could just like meditate and go spirit world, right? That's not a thing.
No.
Dying isn't worth something clever.
Is there a steam pipe passing through here by chance? This is something that I would know that steam can be very, very thick.
Yeah. There is piping along the edges of the room in places.
All right, I'm gonna find a spot where I can reach the pipe, and I have a dagger. I can punch into the pipe, but then I'm going to make it very, very, very foggy in here that only you guys can see. Okay.
Okay, so to basically recap, our plans are create a big fog that only we can see through.
Yes.
Locate the targets or have them located beforehand.
Yep.
And then, question, mechanically, are we obscured or are we hidden?
All right, So it obscures anything in here. So the characters in this fog cannot see anything beyond 25 feet.
Okay. So they can't see anything beyond 25 feet, which means we would be basically invisible to them. So we would be hidden or...
Yep.
I would like to remind everybody that in the beginning of the setting, we were classified as in dim light, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you were.
So it's going to make it very, very hard to see at this point.
Yeah, so
Okay, cool.
I would say
Because
if you start...
assassinate action does require you to be hidden, so that's
Yeah,
I just
and
wanted to make sure
the way I will rule it is if they didn't know you were there before within 25 feet, then they aren't going to know that you're there when you get closer, provided you roll a high enough stealth check.
Let's do it.
So, in theory, we would all be we'd all be, going through this, figuring out tactics. So, in that case, I am going to, basically be like, okay, you know what? Yeah, you don't want to talk to me. You don't want to deal with me. Fine. Fuck you. And then I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah. Okay. Because as you're deciding
as we're all
this,
plotting, I want to start putting my eye oil on so that I can negate the dim light before everything starts popping off.
Yeah, because you're noticing this guy that's moving is getting closer now. Like he's like maybe 30 feet off, and he's kind of giving this quizzical look as to why this partner of his is like not exactly stable on his feet.
Okay.
So, Aisha, you're the kickoff.
Have
I
anything
believe.
else? I was just going to make sure. Does anyone else have any other questions or any other additions before?
Nylah, anything from your end?
I can talk to people. This does not involve talking to people.
Yeah.
I have nothing.
We're beyond manipulating these assholes. We are on to the killing.
I've done my duty.
His role involves pretending that he didn't know the smoke was coming so that he doesn't end up a suspect during all this.
I'll be like, what? Huh?
At this point, I'm going to go up to a steam pipe. I am going to go ahead and, with my dagger, I'm going to punch a nice little hole into it to start making a...
You puncture and you hear this hissing sound, and shortly after, lights start blaring. An alarm starts sounding.
Deep fog. I'm going to burn a key point for it.
You got it.
We have 10 minutes. It's a 50 feet radius within 100 feet, which obscures everything in it. So we can see each other.
So
is this basically, so this is basically, if I'm understanding correctly, centralized basically at the bar and just stretching out far enough to hit the guy that is coming towards.
Well, he is almost
also...
there. As this happens, he's basically on them. Or on his partner.
Okay.
And
that makes sense.
And that fog. Yeah. So you notice, because again, all of you can see through this, that he starts looking around frantically, like something is now very wrong, right? Several of the guards at the edges of the room are starting to try and evacuate people, and they are also kind of like bewildered by this. You are all hidden for the purposes of trying to assassinate.
Okay.
Do your work.
So who wants to go first?
Okay.
Because
quick change of plans. I feel like because that guy has his bodyguard close to him, I should be trying to tag him with the poison dart so he can burn himself off slowly while other people collect on the other guy that I'd point out, the guy that's kind of wandering around.
Yeah, well, the guy he's right there. He's with his partner now. So, they're together.
Oh, they're both together.
Yeah, they've gotten together in the time. Yeah.
Then, fun fact, so you know how, and I'm assuming these actions are going to count as, our batch round of combat, but we basically have advantage on things, right? So, I would get 2 attack actions, and because my blow dart gun doesn't require the reload, could I try and land a dart in each of them?
Yes, you could, because you have 2 actions.
Nice. All right. And I assume that's going to be marksmanship to make the shot.
To make the shot, yes, from this distance, because you are, because let me double check something here real quick.
I imagine I'm still on the outskirts. If the bar is in kind of a lower section, I'm out on the outer rim standing area.
Yeah, you're kind of at the edge of the crowd where you kind of met with the guy before, that kind of radius, right? You're on the edges of things. So I just want to double check something. Make marksmanship against the same number of some melee checks. So it's actually going to be, I'm going to need to roll. So first, roll me your stealth, Satoshi, for this, just because I need to see if they can even try to counter this. But I don't even think they can.
Yes!
Jesus Christ.
Bingo.
All right.
See, this is the dude who was
Four
saved as a
successes.
child by agents and I assume was like raised to be a killing machine.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll this Kappa's awareness. Nope.
No!
No.
He tried so
Oh,
hard.
yes!
He tried so hard.
His attacker.
Because you have to remember...
Also, you got a 6. So
he is more. He is more than Satoshi's got more. So they don't know you're there. So these are auto hits because they have no way to contest it.
Oh, so they're each about to get tagged with the snake scale solution because I was prepping 3 shots, 2 of them burned.
Because they do not know you're there. So you're within range and it assumes that you will hit. So just... And each of these, you just see the one who's more alert just reach up to his neck as he feels the prick. Just, oh God! And the poison quickly starts taking its effect. Who's next?
I guess Hugo, kind of seeing him start, kind of like screaming out, is just gonna try and just grab him by the throat with his mechanical arm.
And just snap his neck, or?
Yeah, basically just trying to kill him, or make it as quiet as possible.
Stealth, please.
Oh boy. And we're gonna use one of our Lady Lucks on this.
Oh, you got it. So you add an extra dice.
Yeah.
Got it. Go ahead.
Oh. There we go.
Yep, you succeed. So you reach up, you just, and you feel the wet of this yokai's skin against your hands as
disgusting.
As you snap its neck and you feel the edges of its comment, which is the mask they wear to appear human. You do have the opportunity to try and take it if you would like.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Also, I just remembered something else about dying. So there's something about like a spirit that comes out and something about a spirit lantern. Are we assumed to have spirit lanterns on us?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, because we should capture these spirits and then bring them back for interrogation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you might want to use your second action to do that if possible.
So yokai, if I remember right, let me double check here. Because as I understand it, yokai are different in that regard. But
they not have souls.
Just double checking something. I just want to make sure.
Reading over Spirit Lantern, it looks like we can't catch yokai.
Where does it
Doesn't say anything about being able to.
It says, it mentions character. Is the only thing. So it doesn't say player character. It doesn't say NPC. Yokais are still considered characters, at least as far as I can tell. And I feel like at some point I remember hearing Cody talk about capturing yokai's spirits and then bringing them back for interrogation.
Here it is. Here it is. Yeah. The once a wandering spirit is within the lantern, so it's all based around it being a wandering spirit, and I think the difference would be that a player character releases a wandering spirit when they die, and a yokai wouldn't release a wandering spirit, and that's how it's differentiated?
I don't. I mean, it doesn't say anything about them not, because NPCs also have ki. This is a thing that I know because I have an ability that lets me lower NPCs' ki, and the whole thing with Wandering Spirits is that every turn that you're a Wandering Spirit, you lower your ki reserve till you hit 0, then you true death. So, in the case of NPCs, that would also, make sense to apply. So this is probably clarification that we should ask for at some point before the next game.
I can try and.
So it's up to you. It's up to you what you want to, though. In that case, if you think that it would be reasonable and make sense for them to have spirits and for us to be able to capture them, then that's cool. If not, then no worries.
So it's interesting that they mentioned the spirit lanterns, because normally my understanding is you'd have to requisition them, and I don't believe
they weren't listed in the requisition list. So,
right.
that's why I asked, are we assumed to have them on us? Because I didn't see them back there. I probably should have asked beforehand, before we started blasting. But that is my bad.
When the day comes, lucky enough to survive it, so spirit lanterns with a spirit lantern. So it doesn't automatically assume like this is standard kit or anything, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably safest to assume you do not have a spirit lantern, and then just to say that, like, that's that. Because they say that, like, you were here to eliminate them. They didn't really care to interrogate them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
no worries. Yeah.
So, okay, so Hugo successfully kills the yokai.
Elbozo.
Please grab their common for me. I can use it.
Yeah.
Target down.
Probably hearing that at some point. Yeah, Hugo will grab the common and just like slip it into his suit or something.
One thing you know about the common is once you take it off, this thing will resume its normal form as a yokai, as like a monster.
Once we get ready to dispose of it.
So yeah. So
don't worry.
So if our plan to dispose of them was throw them in the airlock and press the fuck off button, then we could just take it. Actually, wait a minute. If they see their bodies floating
when they get there.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they see their bodies floating in space and they see a kappa, then that's gonna be a breach of the veil. So that will be problematic. Actually,
potentially.
I do have some corpse eater to turn them into some nice slush.
Oh, that's fucking pog as shit. Okay, yeah. Never mind.
All right. So
ways to dispose.
Yeah, so we got one yokai down. Hugo's used his action. Satoshi's used his action. What are we looking at then from the remainder? So
Carmen and Osaka.
Yeah, Carmen, Osamu, and Aisha set this all off. So actually, Aisha's used her actions as well.
Yep.
So yeah, Osamu and Carmen. We've got one yokai left who is intoxicated and very much stumbling over themselves.
So I was gonna say, Nylah, if you want to smack his nuts, then you can go do that. I actually want to go and see if I can steal that drone blueprints.
I was gonna go like convince him to just come with us.
I don't think that's gonna work.
He is already poisoned, by the way. He is
intoxicated
and poisoned.
No, I actually poisoned him.
Yeah, and poisoned.
He's dying. He needs a medic bag.
Oh, well.
Very badly.
I have because I was about to say, like, my whole thing is literally finding out what people really, really want, and then using that to, like,
man wants cucumbers. We already know.
Well, that's why we tried negotiations first, but unfortunately, negotiations were short. So
yeah. So I mean, I guess I could try just straight up trying to incapacitate him.
Nylah, we're gonna have to kill this guy.
Damn.
Damn.
Oh, you know what? I do have silver light dust. After being afflicted by this poison, a character must make a difficult 4 endurance check or lose all memories from the last hour.
Oh yeah, that's for NPCs that see us do crimes and / or breaches of the veil,
or enemies that we poisoned and we want them to forget we poisoned them.
Technically, I mean, yeah, I guess.
We take him, we interrogate him, put him right back where he was.
No, you're not poisoned. You're just tired. You just need water. You just need a nap.
Here's a note from your partner. He went home.
Oh yeah. He got, yeah. He needed to go home. Family emergency.
If you don't have the note now, yeah, you don't have it. So
can I do that, Em?
Because can you?
Can I inflict him with silver light dust so that he forgets everything that's happened in the past hour?
I mean, you could blow that in his face or something, and that'll do that.
Sure. Yeah. So have him make a difficult endurance check.
For Briefcase Kappa to become our best friend.
Not happening.
Oh god.
Endurance with a -1.
Endurance, it just says difficult. I don't know what that means.
Yep. No, I'm making it with
4?
a -1. Yeah, that difficult is it's a DV rating, and he only rolls a 1. So he fails that, and so you just see this like vapid expression quickly melt over this dude's face as he's just slowly like choking on blood from the poison that he's already been infected with. Finally, Carmen. So, Carmen, you're looking for where they've... So, I remind you, there's lights and alarms going from the punctured pipe that has been hit.
Yep.
So, a lot
That's
of the room is evacuating. That is what is happening around you.
Yep. So, in that chaos, I was going to go see if I could run to the back rooms. I'm going to try and no clip out of existence. I'm going to go into the back room area in which... I presume that the things that are going to be on auction are being held, and I want to see if I can steal the drone data before we fucking
the
meeting. We 86. Yeah, before we 86 out of here, because that does seem like it would be of use or interest, and preventing any future use of it that would be nefarious, whether yokai or not, is probably generally a good thing. So I want to get that out of the hands of criminals.
So
anyways,
the one thing is you don't see any like doors to back rooms or anything like that next to this stage.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me insight.
Okay. Insight gaming. I'm stupid.
Yeah. So as you kind of try to mill through the chaos, you don't know where they could be keeping it. But you do realize you're probably out of time. Like whatever this is, wherever it was going to go,
that makes sense.
It's gone. But you prevented it from falling into the hands of the yokai.
Okay. Should have coordinated that a little bit better beforehand, but that's fine. We'll take the W that we're already getting.
Yep. So now
in that case, because I have a second action. So that case, I'm going to try and get over to basically the shuttle area, and I'm going to see if I can alert Olaf that we need to leave next turn, basically next round.
So it is it's a pretty far way to get there, so you're gonna get closer, but you're not quite there yet.
Yeah, no worries. I'm basically gonna run towards the evacuation area, I assume.
Cool.
So
can everyone tell me what their awareness base is? So their stat plus their skill and awareness?
2.
5.
So my mind plus awareness is a 4.
Okay.
4.
4. Okay. Aisha, could you roll me awareness? Okay. Beautiful.
That's 4 successes, pokies.
And then this is going to be... Yeah, so this one is going to be... This would be -1 of the die. So this will actually... Aisha, you will succeed. So the party has initiative.
Sick.
So you may all decide what order you want to take the second round of turns in. But the Kappa is like overwhelmed, doesn't know what's going on because silver light dust. What are we doing? So Hugo, you're like right next to this Kappa. But you guys decide amongst yourselves who will take the first kind of turn, the first action.
I still think Hugo should take the first action, but we can't. Once the smoke starts to clear and the guards start kind of pooling in to fill out what's going on inside of the smoke, we need those bodies to be out of there, and we need somewhere that we can like mask them off and kind of do that. And we do have a cleaning crew that we can call. I say we take them onto the ship, GTFO with them, and then have the cleaning crew rendezvous with us.
Well, also on top of that, like, God damn it. Like, the drone plans would be helpful for the ruse.
Yeah, unfortunately, never lucky.
Well,
is there a drainage pipe near the bar here?
Not really, because again, it's you're in 0G.
we have the waste disposal.
Yeah.
All we gotta do, kill off this guy, drag them off, mulch them, and then get the fuck out of here. Maybe within that gap of time, we could probably snag the plans. Hopefully, it would be a bit of a gamble, but it might pay out for us.
So, basically, so Diamond, you say that you want to kill the second guy that's still alive? Because I was gonna say that Nylah wanted to try and get him to come with us alive, but you know, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Unless somebody can pass a medicine for check, he is going to die.
Because we know where these guys are supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we already have that information. Yeah,
I mean, I say just kill him, but
well, that's the thing. Like, I don't know what everybody's medicine skill is. Maybe somebody's got a higher, but okay. So that you would be like the one opportunity to save a second guy because it needs a 4 success medicine check to save his ass. Like this poison is a giant death spiral.
Yeah, and also he is intoxicated. So that's unfortunate.
I have tried to corral drunk people to where they need to go. I'm not dealing with that in my RPG game.
Honestly, if we did just it might be easier than dragging the dead weight to just kind of corral him towards the waste chute, and then by the time he gets there, he'll keel over and die from the poison.
Yep, let's do it.
Let's pretend we're getting him out of there. We're security force getting him out, and then he just keels over.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who wants?
Just gonna start pulling him.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you're gonna just kind of grab and start yoinking him over.
Yeah, Hugo's gonna use his massive swole muscles.
I just need the masks, though.
Cyberon.
So you're not gonna. So this is not an assassination attempt. You're just trying to grab and move.
The dead guy, I assume. Yeah.
Or the alive guy.
We're
probably gonna just throw him in the chute.
Okay, so go ahead and make me a melee check.
Oh, we're punching.
Grapple Gaming. Yo, let's go.
no.
4 success gaming.
2 success fails. So you successfully get a hold of the kappa, and you've got him. You're just, what are you doing? And you're just, he is barely able to form a response as you just start dragging his ass.
Poor guy.
So, poor guy. I mean, this is a demon that you're literally taking out.
I almost feel sorry for him.
Oh, just wait till he sees what's next.
So yeah, so you can move and you can take a dash as well to move twice. That'll get you near the trash compactors. Is everyone else just kind of moving in that direction to get him over there?
Yeah, just.
I'm like I said, gonna go and try and get as close as possible to the ship, and alert Hugo of the situation, because I don't know whether or not Hugo has like the tattoos or if he's an actual member of the agency or if he's an affiliate or what.
Oh, you mean Olaf? You mean Olaf?
Oh, Olaf. I don't know why I said Hugo.
Yeah. No,
Sorry,
Olaf does not have the tattoos. He is part of the agency, kind of, but not in the way you guys are. Yeah, he's an affiliate. Yeah. So.
Okay, so yeah, I just want to give him the heads up and basically prime the engines. We're getting the fuck out of here.
Okay, so, and you see him start like flipping switches to like light up.
Once everyone gets here, and I give you the okay, hit it.
Okay, we'll prepare. And he gets everything kind of like primed, like warm the engines. So on this turn, the Kappa is gonna try and.
There is something that I wanted to do just in case other people get involved. There is something that I wanted to prepare with my two actions this round. I want to tap up another one of my darts so that I have 2 at the ready, and I want to basically have my dart gun ready and kind of looking around in case any of the security or whatever starts to get a clue to what's going on and rush in to intervene. I'm going to give them a tap too.
Gotcha.
Sorry, go ahead. I just had to have that established.
No, you're good.
So question real quick, actually, for the pirate police radio, it says whenever law enforcement is called, that I assume, does that only apply to like the traditional law enforcement, or could it also, in theory, be used to scramble and prevent whatever, criminal organization that's, like basically gonna send people here if they start sending people here?
I mean, law enforcement is contextual, so these guys are technically local law enforcement. They are not really finding you guys right now. They're not really looking for you guys. They're mainly just looking to see what the hell's just started happening, because there's alarms and steam and they look just as confused as the Kappa did when you like set on them. And they're not able to see you guys because you guys are moving through the fog for the most part here. So, so the Kappa is going to try and end the grappled condition that you placed him under. So he's going to roll an athletics check here, attempting to oppose your either strength or melee. It's your choice, Hugo.
Oh boy. Let's see. I mean, they're both the same, so we can just do melee on that.
Okay. Roll it. Oh, come on. There we go.
Let's see.
So the Kappa rolled one success. And
let's see.
You rolled one success. Since the Kappa's the aggressor, they would win unless you would like to burn Inyo.
Oh, we'll burn Inyo.
Beautiful. So you keep that grasp on him. You successfully get him through the fog without the station security finding you yet. So you do manage to get over to like the trash compactor, because part of the security is kind of like looking what's going on, but they're going toward the steam, which is opposite side of the room, or they're escorting people to their waiting ships, which again, not going in your direction. So, on the following turn, assuming everyone else is kind of like moving with Hugo or whatever, you guys will make the trash compactor and can do what it is you want to do.
Violence.
And we have the dead one too, right?
Yeah.
I assumed someone picked them up, I believe.
If I get the masks, and if we can possibly nab something to pull off a con, I think we'll be able to make this meetup pass pretty good. So
interesting. So also real quick, while everyone's doing that, I have to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
So into the trash compactor then with these two.
Yep. Basically, my next plot is on our way out, so Once that roll comes around, there's something I want to do on the way out. But until then, I'm just helping out, getting these guys crunched in and getting their masks off.
We have enough.
Does someone want to end him before I throw him in there?
I don't see the need. I trust my poison.
Send him to the big cucumber in the sky.
A big cucumber in the sky. What a
All right. Well, off with their masks. I will be taking those.
So you rip off the common, and in this like grotesque metamorphosis, you just see them like resume their bulbous frog-like shapes. And
Hugh Kappa look like.
They look here. I can drop a token for one on the. They look like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So you take him and throw him into the trash compactor here. So go ahead and make Hugo. This is the last roll I need you to make relative to this. Roll me a melee or strength check.
We'll do strength, and we'll use one of our Lady Luck points.
You got it. You're rolling against 2 successes.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So the kappa actually resists your throw and breaks free.
no.
So
Love to see it.
you do have the common, the one that, because Aisha, I assume you just grabbed the one off the dead one and then threw him into the compactor. So Hugo, you still do have another action after trying to throw him. So you can attempt to do something here. This kappa has been bleeding now 2 turns, so they are hurting.
Okay. And then the firearm silencer. That makes it so it's not a loud weapon, so it wouldn't really alert the guards, like with all the blaring lights and everything going on?
Correct. Yeah, quieted enough.
Alright, I think Hugo's just kind of done with this cop of shit. He's just gonna pull the silenced pistol out of his waistband and just take a shot, just kind of point blank at him.
Beautiful. Roll me a marksmanship check.
Kerblamo.
And then that's 1 success. This guy's athletics roll. He dodges it.
Hugo's never gonna hit anything ever again.
He actually manages to dodge the roll. Damn. All right. Let's go over now. So we have Aisha and Hugo dealt with. We now go to well, Carmen, you've alerted Olaf. That was your round here.
Yep. That was me.
Beautiful. Osamu and Satoshi, what are we doing?
Step 1, could I use one of my ends of the Kusarigama and try and wrap him up in the chain end of it?
Let me take a look at Kusarigama just to make sure that
It's got a lot of bonus thingies.
Concealable, grappling, reach. I believe, if I remember right.
It says grappling, so that means I assume you can use the grapple action while holding it.
Mm-hmm.
That
One of
makes
the
sense.
things I was waiting on was to whip a weapon out of somebody's hand using that.
I'm just double checking. Hold on. There's a. Oh, I know what it is. End of the page I was looking for. It is here. All right. So grappling can be used to take the grapple action, disarm actions against targets within range. Gets a +1 bonus to athletics checks made to climb or traverse. Okay. So yeah, so you can roll grapple against the kappa. So the kappa will roll athletics against your either melee weapon or strength, which is the grapple check.
I'll hit the melee.
Melee, okay. Athletics. You win. All right, very cool.
Nice. So now he's wrapped up.
Yep. So you've got him wrapped. What would you like to do next? Just try to throw him?
No, I think for style points, I'm going to do like the full Naruto play here. He's wrapped up. I'm going to use my other hand now that I've only got one hand holding the Sarigama chain thing and hit him with that fire breath and see how that works out.
Beautiful. So
There's smoke.
that Mikio.
There's a lot of fucking smoke.
And Mikio, make a focus check to exhale a wave of fire at all characters in a 10-foot radius adjacent to you. Any of these characters who fail an opposed athletics check take 3 damage and suffer the burning condition.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll me that focus check.
Focus check.
He rolls 2 successes against your 1 success.
Oh, you got me. You got me. You know I have to make it pay off. Mark my Eno and burn the motherfucker alive.
All right. Yep. Mark it on your sheet. And yeah, you do how much damage with that?
3 damage and inflicts burning condition.
Beautiful. Yeah. So this just as this thing just start emanating smoke and steam, and yeah, he dies pretty much instantly as you breathe fire all over the back of this thing's skull. It is dead. And from there, it's a simple matter of into the trash compactor you go. So with that, you have both of their comment. So
Lovely.
Yep. So you stuff those away in your pocket. And at this point, the guards are looking a little more alert, but you guys can successfully kind of get back to the ship and get the hell out of Dodge.
Okay, we'll do
All right,
some
so-
corpse eater.
I didn't know if there was a chance for me to take a gamble to see if I could nab the drone plans on the way out the door.
The guards are kind of everywhere. You do not, especially not knowing where the plans are, you really don't like your odds there. Like, you could try and puzzle it out if you really, really want to, but you know
Awareness check or
probably insight as to where they could even be.
If you want to make a play and you come up with one, just let me know and I'm with
Yeah, and you really can't think of a way that.
God damn it!
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we got nothing going to wherever the fuck they're going. Then what are we to do?
I mean, you know
we
where.
do know that they're going to meet up in 5th Street at
Yes.
a bar
Oh yeah,
or a diner.
or a
And
gas
so
station.
a gas station. So we're going to, in theory, sit around there and, whoever they're supposed to meet up with Sanzul, I believe is their name.
Yes.
We're going to meet up with them instead. Or we're going to trail
Well,
them.
Thing is I can appear as one of them because I have the means to use common. It's just now, fuck. I gotta have a real good excuse.
We have a little bit less leverage, but, that's fine.
We've got enough to get them to the table, and that's enough for us to figure out a play to make.
Yeah, we
Honestly,
can put it in
just
the
being
brief.
honest with saying some crazy people attacked the station I was supposed to get it from, and we had to all evacuate, and it was called, and the auction was called off. Probably enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, we say it's in the briefcase. We take that with us. They don't know it's not in there.
Right, but they're gonna open the briefcase.
Yeah, and then
That's
that's
when
when
we get
the dart gun trap opens up from inside the briefcase and sticks them right between the eyes with one of those nice little poison darts. Who knows?
What
can
if
come
we
up with all
need this
sorts
one
of plays.
alive? Anyway, I think we should go back to HQ, regroup, gather ourselves, and then figure out what we're gonna do from there.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
it turned into kind of a cluster trying to get anything out of here. At least we got our targets and we got the next point that we need to be at.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you
I'd
guys.
say mission successful.
Yeah, so you guys get back to Olaf's shuttle. He quickly cycles the airlock and then, just undocks from the station. And you are away. So he does get you back to EOS in order to let you, disembark and head back to the Tory Gate, waiting in the back of the nightclub. So at this point, you're looking to regroup with Benjiro. Is that my understanding?
That's probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds like the next step.
Beautiful. So you guys walk back to the...
I do have a question. How does time work across the multiverse here? Because like that's a problem.
It's mostly synchronous. Like it's not something where time is like incredibly accelerated or
I like to think
decelerated.
parallel lines, they just started at different points.
Yeah, that's kind of the way that it doesn't really express that there's a difference. So for simplicity's sake, I'm going to say there isn't one. So you guys head back through the Tory Gate to the gatehouse in HQ. You get out of the gatehouse and walk to the meeting room with Benjiro. And so Benjiro kind of looks over what you've collected, and he says, well, I think we still don't know what their plans are. Don't know what their next move is. I think the only thing to do is meet with the contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were thinking the same thing. If we can get our hands on the contact, hopefully he'll be able to give us some more direct information about what we want to know.
Yeah, we still need to know what they were planning to do with the drone. Even if you don't have it, the fact that they wanted it means something.
Mm-hmm.
So, head to 5th Street, meet up with this guy, see what he can give you.
All right.
Sir,
Makes
yes,
sense.
sir.
Beautiful. So, you're all still allowed to keep whatever gear you have requisitioned right now, because it's assumed this is just another leg of the same mission. So, you head back to the gatehouse, through a Tory Gate, this time emerging in the back of essentially a utility closet in the gas station Golden Rays. So as you emerge out into the bright Louisiana sun, you can see a street sign not far from the gas station as you walk outside, pointing to New Orleans, being a few miles down the highway. And at this point, Aisha, are you looking to don one of the common masks?
Now I'm just trying to decide who do I fucking. Well, the one that was eating the sandwich seems pretty cowardly. That, you know what? I think I know what I'm gonna do. So with that, I'm gonna take Daisuke. Daisuke was the one that looked like he would run at first notice of fear.
Yes, yeah. Daisuke was the one that would probably
All right.
run. Yep.
So that I'm gonna put the mask on.
So what are we all going to be doing then? Are we just going to be kind of like trying to blend in inside the gas station or outside of it? Are we going to stay in, assumedly they've acquired for us, we've gone through the whole shebang, so we have appropriate clothes and all that shit.
You're in period
we're-
appropriate clothing, yeah.
So we could blend in and try and listen in on him, see if he's saying anything, or look over his shoulder, see if he's checking his if he has a phone or equivalent or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
His notes.
So one thing we could do is we could, since there's 5 of us, right? Having 4 of us at one table might be a little conspicuous. So I propose.
So maybe let me give you the lay of the land. So as you walk outside, so this gas station does have an attached convenience store, and you can see there's like a group of bikers just walking into the convenience store to presumably, buy things. But it is, far enough away. You can see across the road in a stand of reeds that's just off of a dirt path. You see an old Model T with a driver inside, seemingly waiting and like looking at his watch.
That's probably who we're looking for.
I always wanted one of those before the war started.
War.
War
Yeah.
never changes.
I understood this reference.
So
Yeah, this place just experienced a great war. The greatest, in fact.
So
I don't know.
if
War
he's,
don't sound no great to me.
So if he's parked outside of a building, does it look like he's waiting to pick somebody up, like engine is running, or is he sitting there waiting to hop out because who he's meeting is looking like they're gonna show up?
He looks like he's just waiting. Like the car doesn't appear to be on or anything. He appears just be sitting there across the street from the gas station, kind of waiting.
Okay, and that's like next to that's next to a stand of reeds, you were saying.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not really a building.
Can I make myself or like party? Can you guys help me look just a little bit roughed up? Like I got out of a really bad shakeup at the space station.
That's
Yeah,
That's
we can
me.
do that.
so that would
Let's
be
help.
a disguise check.
Yes, you could roll disguise to disguise her.
All right.
I mean, she already is
And-
going to have the common on, so that does help.
Mm-hmm. Let me just make sure of something. So I have a disguise kit on me, so I would be rolling a 2.
Okay.
Um,
All right, there we go. So that's 3 successes. Beautiful. You love to see it. So yeah, that is going to drive home the point pretty well. So you brush her up with like bruising and things like that. You look every bit because you wanted to dress up as the nervous one, right, Daisuke? Yep. So yeah, you're that every bit as like pudgy, sweaty, anxious looking. No one said this was pretty. It just is. So you look kind of like more beat up and bruised. And are
Clasping
you?
at the briefcase like your life depends on it.
Yeah.
And also, I would like to make it a point that I do not look like I belong. Will our clothing change when we get to 5th Street?
I mean, it's roughly period agnostic for what he was wearing, because it was mostly just a business suit.
Okay, so I'm not wearing something that looks really out of place for the times.
The common changes all of that for yokai. So that's something where
sweet.
You are people and need to change your clothes. Yokai just have magic that does it for them, basically.
So, all right, so I'm wearing like a wool suit, just all fucking ragged and whatnot. Just
you look like you just
across.
you just
Oh,
came out of a fucking boxing match with Mike Tyson. Like, that's kind of what it looks like.
My hat's got a hole in it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's one thing that needs to complete the look, and Hugo's gonna run into the gas station, and since it has the convenience store, try and find like a jar of pickles or cucumbers or something.
Yeah, there is like small jars of like pickles there.
Right, pickles.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, pickled cucumber. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like quickly kind of buy one of those and be like, yeah, here now you look the part.
Yeah.
All right. I'll.
Just stick the pickle in your mouth like a cigar.
Yeah. You just see her try to open up the jar and stick one in his mouth, and you see Daisuke starting to make his way, kind of look across the road and start meandering over to the Model T.
Yeah, and so you see the person inside kind of glance in the mirror, side mirror of the car, as you come kind of like fumbling up, kind of like, I assume like somewhat limping to kind of simulate. So as you walk up, roll me performance with a +2 since you have the common and you've been disguised.
How do I do? Or do you want me to re-roll this one?
Roll 2d6 more. So you have one success already, and just roll me an extra 2d6. Slash roll.
Slash roll. All right.
Space 2d6. Yeah.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So that's 3 successes total.
Oh,
all right.
Sanzo.
Beautiful. And he says, "Jesus, you already bought fucking pickles? Really?
Look.
You couldn't help yourself?
It's been a fucking day.
For 5 fucking... Oh my god. All right. Look, just give me the fucking plans."
So that's the problem, Sanzo. We are at the
What's
auction. Sanzo, come on, you just see like the sweat is getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
Look, I was just sitting there. I was eating some cucumber sandwiches, just waiting for Hachi to get back. You know, everything was going to plan. The auction was counting down, and then some freaks showed up, and then suddenly the station started smoking, and we all had to evacuate. We don't know what the deal was. I don't even know where Hachi is at this point.
Fuck. All right. Jesus Christ, Kagura's gonna fucking kill us.
You want pickle though? Maybe this might.
No, I don't want fucking pickles. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Drops the jar. So proceed to pick him up and stuff him into his suit pocket.
And so yeah, so
glass.
Sanzo is looking like he's beside himself. Like, okay. There's fuck. She's gonna kill us. She's gonna come to kill you. Then she's gonna come and find me. She's gonna kill me. Yeah, you were responsible for getting these fuking plans.
This was all Hachi's plan to go to the auction and have me sit around. Like we could have done something different. We could have.
Look.
Fighting's not gonna get us anywhere.
No. I really wish it would. Okay, look. I am going to stay here, lay low. You need to I can only hope that Hachi got ahead of you, okay? And is back into Katsukuni with Kagura right the fuck now. Okay. Because she's building some shit at a shrine. You're gonna go there. You're gonna grovel at her fucking feet and make sure that she doesn't rip your fucking, and hope rather, she doesn't rip your fucking spine out. And if you get that far, maybe she'll come up with another plan to get those plans. Because if she doesn't, you're fucking dead, pal.
You gotta help me out, man. Come on. What am I supposed to say?
I don't know. What do you want me to fucking do? It was your job to get the plans. You knew that.
All right. So where am I going then to go take this shit? I'm sorry. I'm a little lost. I'm a little shook up right now. I got to go into the city then to get going to where we need to go next.
Shrine, northern to Katsukuni. Follow the mountain path. You'll find it eventually.
Right.
And don't get more fucking pickles. You show up with that, she will kill you.
Right. You just
now
see him.
And with that, Sanzo says, all right, get fucking going. Get out of my sight, and slams the Model T, starts the engine, and just pulls out.
I was wondering if a question. So since we didn't really establish where anybody but Aisha was at the time. So Hugo he do be having a gun. You know, maybe, you know, starts. Maybe the guy tries to drive away. Maybe there's an accident. I don't know. Maybe there's an assassination that happens. You know, oh, crazy! A bullet flies out of his FaceTime. Oh man. Maybe you know, maybe some of that happens. I don't know.
I actually really like that idea. It might be a good use of one of my unpoisoned darts to pop one of those tires just to give him a headache.
Yeah, that also works. You know, you start blasting.
You see him wander back, take his mask off. Well, you see her finally take it off. We gotta get after him somehow.
Benjiro speaks. So Benjiro speaks in your ear, says, I mean, that was all very enlightening. So I think now we need to talk about some things. Return to base, everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was mission accomplished. We got what we wanted.
Good job. You made an awesome play stepping in there like that.
Yeah.
I need a fresh change of clothes and
shower.
just see her pull one of the pickles out and actually bite into it. Now she can actually taste it herself. What's wrong with your guys' pickles? As you guys get into the gate.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, those were the cheapest ones I could find.
Fun fact: Victorian pickles were pickled differently than the modern American pickle.
I have no idea how hard it is for me to not make a joke. I'm practicing self-restraint.
What could it possibly be?
Don't worry about it. Let's get going.
Beautiful. Well, we are about at time for the week. But I will say we are about halfway through the adventure at this point.
What?
So
what would have happened if we follow? Like, was there something for if we followed Sanzo or?
Well, it assumed. Well, it doesn't assume anything. But basically, you get to skip like a whole long beat
Investigation section, I assume.
by playing dumb with the common, basically. And it assumes to an extent you have the plans, but beyond that, I mean, yeah, you caught the full wrath of fucking Sanzo. So you skipped. You basically just get to skip over like a whole chase section. In the middle there.
Oh man, if there was a chase section, I could have used my sick ass maneuvering skill.
Yeah.
I could have thrown out a block of instant cover in front of his car trying to flee. That would have been hilarious.
Cinder block spell, cinder block.
No, 5 cinder blocks right in front of it. I can throw them, 50 feet out in front of me, and I get 5 of them, and just toss them out in front of his car.
I cast cinder block!
Wish I had one of those. There's a fucking meme of there's like an anime girl holding a brick and then throws the brick at the camera, and it's a GIF, so it just replays the moment that the fucking brick hits the camera.
Gadget barricade.
So
yeah.
So with that said, I think so. At this point, this is where we're gonna wrap part 1 at least of this.
Okay.
So. Those of you watching on YouTube, we'll probably be posting these relatively close together. So I'll probably upload them one day after another. So you probably will have it tomorrow. We will have to wait like another week to play. But I hope all of you have enjoyed this so far. I'm really excited to see where this goes with all of you. But to YouTube, I hope all of you have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Stay healthy, stay safe. And until next time, peace.